Hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. No, we are not live, and no, you are not watching AE Ramble. This is the AE Ramble gang here for a special holiday video for you to close out 2023, where I am bringing my other alias of Jerome YouTube, and we are doing our first tier list on True Hill Heat YouTube channel. I am joined by my esteemed colleague over at AE Ramble, the man of 52,000 subscribers. You go to him for your TV and movie reviews, as well as your honest criticisms of Tony Khan and AEW. It is Jimmy Macram.
Glad to be here. By here, I mean alive, I suppose. Though, every day, I do look for a way out. I can't tell a lie. Positivity. Let's get to it.
A way out of life? Jesus, that's grim. It's the holiday season, man.
I'm fine. I don't want anybody checking up on me. You will get cursed out.
Word,
Jimmy, you
I'm
serious?
concerned.
You check I would type go away. Go away.
I am slightly concerned, sir, right now. I cannot lie. Are you okay?
I just talk too much shit. Give me a minute. I'll wake up by the time it's over.
But yes, me and Jimmy have done so many episodes. Over 50 in 2023 alone of AE Ramble. So I thought we were the best to give a firm assessment of the AEW roster.
The only two. I've seen the rest of that roster. Where you go to? All right, I'm waking up.
Our roster? Why are you always trying to bury everybody here?
Austin Reeves. I'm gonna go to fucking Rui Habadul. Really? Stop it.
Rui Hashimura.
Yeah, sure.
Rui Hashimura. That's a great name. It's a great name.
All right.
You tell me Rui Hashimura is not a great name.
Oh, it's a fantastic name.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about skill set.
Austin Reeves, man. Austin Reeves got that skill set. He got that dog in him.
Jesus fucking Christ. He looks like fucking.
He got the bangs. He got the mop top. But yes, over on Fightful Overbook, ladies and gentlemen, I have created a different alias for myself. Yes, I am the True Heel Phenom. I am the new media Forbidden Door, but I am also Jerome YouTube, because all the Gary YouTubes in the UK, they do tier lists, and they do their Gary YouTube tier list. So I was like, what's the black version of that? And that is Jerome YouTube. I am the master of tier lists over here in the African of Americas. So I am here to bring that to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, along with Jimmy Macram, as we give a tier list of the AEW roster, assessing them on 2023 alone.
Really? Now, is this skill set? Is this importance? Is this a mixture of both?
What is this? This is a mixture of everything. It's their skill set, their popularity, what they accomplish in 2023, great matches, great promos, memorable angles, everything that they did in the calendar year of January 2023 to December 2023 when we're filming this.
Gotcha. This should be relatively easy.
This should be. Hopefully. One would hope, right? No. Yeah, I don't think it's going to go well. But yes, let's share the screen here as we got it. Oh, there it is. There is our tier list, as you see, ladies and gentlemen, with our tiers. Can you see that well, sir? Are you okay?
I can.
Okay, great. So we have at the top, Jimmy Macram suggested that we need a tippy top scale on the tier list, and he said it's keep at all. We came up with keep at all cost. These are the stars of AEW that had such a great year that AEW would fall apart without them. Then we have your future Hall of Famers. This is guys that accomplish a great deal. They are kind of the main event, the top stars that accomplished the most in 2023, but maybe not at that level that we think that AEW would fall apart without them. Then we have the main event. These are stars that are kind of in the middle. They did accomplish enough to put them at a certain level, but not enough to be in our top two tiers. Then we have the mid card. So these are guys that are kind of just pretty good. They had pretty good years. They had good matches. They had good promos or not so good promos that keep them out of the top three tiers. Then we got the bottom two tiers, which is mid. Oh, no self-explanation here. This is the guys that we can do away with them if they, we don't want anybody to lose their job, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I'll say. But if they, took the time off, we wouldn't mind. And contract not renewed. We've had a great deal with you. We had a great time with you. We appreciate your skill. We appreciate your service, but good luck on your future endeavors. Jimmy's got a pen. He
I'm
is
already
ready.
done.
He is
Thanks.
ready. At the top here, at the bottom of our choices here, we have the collection of stars in 2023 that were a part of AEW. I believe that we will get to some people that are no longer with AEW when we get through this list. I would not be surprised because that's how roster turnover and change goes. But let us know in the comments if you're watching this on the premiere, if you're watching this on demand. Let us know in the comments where you think people should go in our tier list. And let us know if you want to see more tier lists like this. We will have something similar to this for WWE as well as New Japan Pro Wrestling to end off 2023. So let us know if you enjoy it, and we'll give you more of that in 2024. But, Jimmy, we're going to start here with Athena. Athena, not so much accomplished, we got to admit, in AEW because of lack of opportunity. But Athena had arguably one of the strongest years in all of women's wrestling thanks to her work in Ring of Honor. She was the Ring of Honor Women's World Champion. She won the title back at Final Battle last year, and she has held the title for well over a year, over 365 days. She's put on stellar matches against the likes of Sky Blue on several occasions with Willow Nightingale, including
Stellar matches? Stellar?
Yeah.
Where's that rank on your fucking superlative scale? Where's stellar at? Is it more than great? Because Sky Blue's never had a stellar match in her life. Her and Bret Hart didn't have any stellar matches. What are you talking about? I'm sorry, continue. Go ahead.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
I like Sky Blue. She's improved greatly. She's bumped up the rock.
Good match with Sky Blue. Stellar matches with Willow Nightingale. Jesus Christ. Some really good matches on Ring of Honor TV with the likes of Kara Hogan, Mercedes Martinez, a great program with Billy Starks that many are calling the best story in women's wrestling. So where do you think Athena should rank on our tier list here?
So we're including ROH in this tier list.
We kind of have to if we start off with Athena because she was on AEW maybe 3 times in 2023. She had the matchup with Willow in the Owen Hart Cup. That was on an episode of I believe Rampage. Then she had the matchup on the pre-show to Forbidden Door with Billy Starks that started their whole program at Forbidden Door. Then she was on the pre-show to Wrestle Dream, teaming up with Billy Starks and Kojima and Keith Lee to beat Shane Taylor Promotions and Mercedes Martinez and Diamante.
So it should be contract not renewed, unless we're counting ROH.
We're counting ROH.
She's the main event.
Agreed. We can't put her higher than that. I think that if she did more in AEW, we probably would have to put her higher than that. And it's just, I mean, this might start a whole other conversation of like, we need to find out who's booking ROH because they actually care about the women, and we should probably get that on the AEW.
Should probably get that on record. Some of these journalists should do their job and ask Tony Khan some hard questions.
Hopefully, final battle press conference. We're filming that before that. Maybe we get some people to be like, who is behind the creative for Billy Starks and Athena?
I'm sure he will absolutely not take any credit for that at all. So everybody likes it so fucking much.
I was like, I gotta take credit for you, you know. Brian, next up, we have Austin Gunn of the Guns. Of course, the Guns won the AEW World Tag Team titles in February of 2023 over the Acclaim, a very controversial finish to an episode of Dynamite back then. They held the titles for 2 months before dropping them to FTR in a main event on Dynamite where FTR put their careers on the line. And then they followed up that by joining Bullet Club Gold and becoming kind of the hyenas to Jay White's Mustafa, along with Juice Robinson, where they found a really good role for themselves. So where do you think Austin Gunn deserves to be?
There's only two real choices here. I'm gonna go with mid-card. They had a couple main events. Jay White's a big deal. I'll go mid-card.
I feel a lot better about the Guns coming out of 2023 than I did last year. It's the Bullet Club Gold. Following up the tag team title run with Bullet Club Gold was just a very well done booking decision because that helped them finish out the year on a strong note.
Props to Tony Khan, because I know a lot of you were absolutely against it. You thought it was going to bury Jay White. I was not, because I didn't care then. I don't really care now. But it's worked out. All right.
It definitely has. All right, Jimmy, one of your favorites, Bandito. Bandito had some great matches on Dynamite against the likes of Bryan Danielson and Orange Cassidy. But, however, he was injured in a matchup against Konosuke Takeshita back, I believe, in the late summer. That has kept him out of action for most of the year. He was doing time in AEW as well as AAA in Mexico. He was kind of teaming up with Orange Cassidy at a time. Then he was teaming up with the Luchadors. Never really found a role for himself. So where do you have Bandito?
Mid, if I'm being nice, which I am.
It's only because of his skill level I want to make a push for mid card.
You want to put him ahead of a guy next to a guy rather, who's in a red hot group, at least before the tournament, won tag team titles, wrestled FTR in the main event, helped Jay White in the main event. He goes next to that guy. That's what you're telling me? Because of his skill set. That's what you're telling me?
Because of the skill and the matches. Those two
and the matches that ended in late summer. That's what you would do. I'm just asking a question. I don't know.
All right. I'm gonna give it to you for most of this tier. I asked you to spend some time with me and do this. I'm gonna listen to you because
I don't mind. You can all get mad. I bother me a little bit getting mad. Bandito was a once ROH. Yeah, but what happened this year? I thought it was a this year tier list. That's what I thought it was. I could be wrong. I thought it was this year. That's what I was told. I don't know. I'm just asking questions.
Next, we have Big Bill, one half of the current AEW World Tag Team Champions, and honestly, probably an argument for on the AEW roster, one of the most improved players because he came out of 2022 as a member of the Firm. He was still in the Firm at the start of 2022 when they completed their little mini rivalry with the Hardy family, with the Hardy Party back at the house. Out of that, he started aligning himself with Brian Cage at first in a very popular tag team during the Blind Eliminator tournament, and then followed up that joining up with Ricky Starks as kind of his muscle, the Diesel to his Shawn Michaels, and now they have basically become 1994 Diesel and Shawn Michaels as the AEW World Tag Team Champions.
We're actually recording this after that heinous segment on Dynamite. I watched it again. Ricky Starks does not want to be there. Poor bastard.
Nah.
He wants to go home. Get me out of here. He's got him in mid card, right?
I kind of want to put main event.
What the fuck? Jesus.
I think he's had a great year.
It's not just star ratings. He overrates everything. Holy shit.
I think he's had a great year.
Compared to what?
Okay, so he doesn't have the great matches that Athena has. So I think that he's ahead of Austin Gunn. How about that?
Then put him ahead of Austin Gunn.
All right.
Don't bother me. This is a really silly, kind of purposeless question. But can these titles be edited?
Yes.
I got what do you call that when you can't? Whatever. Anyway, the N in contract not renewed. The N is supposed to be capitalized, and the R in renewed is supposed to be capitalized. Since Future Hall of Fame is capitalized as his main event, as his mid card, and it's bothering me as I'm staring at it.
Oh my God, this motherfucker! What is wrong with you?
I don't know. These things just get to me.
I was wondering what you said. Oh, this is being recorded. I could have paused it. You know that, right? You know, this pausing function in fucking StreamYard now. We could have paused it. You could have told me that. You didn't even ask. All right, next up, we got daddy ass Billy Gunn, 1/3 of the AEW World Trios Champions. He has, of course, been the manager in the corner of the Acclaim for most of 2023, starting off the year as AEW World Tag Team Champions. Of course, he was involved in very messy angle with his sons that led to the Guns becoming AEW World Tag Team Champions. Then from there, they moved on into the Trios division, where they had a program over the summer with the House of Black, eventually winning the AEW World Trios Championships. And through, despite Jimmy Macram's thoughts, they have stayed over with the crowd. What have you thought? Daddy ass.
Mid.
I think it's mid-card at least.
At least. At most. At most is what you're looking for.
At most, yeah, at most.
Sure, feel free.
Okay, we can put him top of the mid. Top of the mid. Because he didn't wrestle that much. He probably wrestled as many matches as Bandito.
Yes. Sure.
So. Next we have Brandon Cutler.
Contract not renewed. We ain't gotta waste no time on it. Contract not renewed. Let's get out of here. Beat it.
That's why I gave you the pause. Brandon Cutler. Brian Cage, 1/3 of the Ring of Honor World 6-man tag team champions, member of now the Mogul Embassy. He started off the year as a member of the Embassy. They were the world 6-man at ROH tag team champions back then. That was during their first reign, a dominant reign through Ring of Honor. He made more and more appearances on AEW throughout the year. Kind of started like gradually. We would see him in a little bit. He had a good matchup against Bryan Danielson early in the year during Bryan's Gauntlet on his way to his Iron Man match with MJF. He was also featured in the Blind Eliminator tournament, like I mentioned earlier, with Big Bill. He was a part of course, Mogul Embassy, was a kind of, I guess, as a deciding factor in the Texas Death Match, interfering on Swerve's behalf against Hangman Adam Page. Had some good matches with Page on Dynamite as well. And he was involved in the crazy Like a Dragon street fight in November as part of the Don Callis family. So Brian Cage is not a guy that we can put with Billy Gunn and Bandito as not a lot of matches. He's had a bunch of matches because he's been used on he's probably the perfect usage of what we would have wanted from Athena, of being used in Ring of Honor and AEW quite often.
Yeah, I'm looking at the mid card. I'm happy it's worked out for him, by the way, after his wife went off on AEW, as she had the right to feel. I won't say she should have. It's a bad idea. Yeah, it's worked out. He's been forgiven, apparently, because he's impossibly talented. And he's
and he re-signed with AEW as well this year.
Was that before or after he started getting pushed again?
That was after he started getting pushed again.
Props to you, sir. Bygones being bygones.
Yeah, I say top of the mid card, even above Big Bill. Even though I think Big Bill, these two might stay there at the top of the mid card because they've had really good years in the mid card level, basically. Next up, we got one of your old favorites. I don't know about 2023. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, who started off the year in the program with the Outcasts, or got formed into the program with the Outcasts, with her and Jamie Hayter playing the second to the AEW Women's World Champion. She was involved in that angle, involved in a program with Saraya a little bit, as well as with Chris Jericho, along with Adam Cole. Her and Adam Cole's relationship got pushed to the forefront in 2023. She was also part of the big four-way at All In, where Saraya became the AEW Women's World Champion, but it was definitely a step down from her 2022 and 2021, where she was AEW Women's World Champion, where she was the top star of the promotion. And really the injuries, the back injury and the toll of being kind of the face of the women's division for AEW kind of got to her when it comes to her in-ring work and overall presentation this year. So where do you think Britt lands?
Former Goat Baker. Used to be my favorite wrestler on the AEW roster. No longer now. This was 21. I'd probably fight for her to be in the Hall of Fame, even though you'd argue main event. Instead, I think. Where do you think she should be? I don't want to say it.
Yeah, I think it's top of mid.
Yeah.
It's top of mid for 2023. And like I went off on her. I won't lie to you, on True Hill Heat 254 because it feels like her 2023 was karma. And it's because of her complaining. It's because of her complaining online. And it's just like, nah, you're the last one who needs to complain. Like you're the only one who've had in-ring promo time in this women's division. Like, why are you even complaining that you've had 0 minutes in 2023? You haven't done anything that's worthy of putting you out there.
That's the complaint. She should be given something that's worthy. I'm saying she's not a booker. She's a performer. That's her job.
She hasn't performed.
In the ring. Give her a microphone. I don't need to see more LA Knight matches. Give her a fucking mic.
She don't knock the pre-tapes out the water, so what are we going to give a live mic to her?
Listen, I am in agreement. With less disrespect, if you're watching, GOAT.
I like Britt Baker. I
think
that she's probably a very nice person to fans. But anyway, let's move on to Brock Anderson.
Contract not renewed. Clearly.
Yeah, because it wasn't. Because it wasn't. I mean, that's an easy one. It wasn't renewed, so yeah, he goes there. Oh, here we go. This is one that I'm sure we will have different opinions on because we did before. Brody King, who honestly has had a really good year on the low. Started off the year, of course, as part of House of Black, feuded with the Elite going into Revolution, where they beat them for the AEW World Trios Championships. They had a dominant run as Trio Championships until running into the Acclaimed over the summer, where they lost the titles. Brody King has also been a part of the whole presentation of Julia Hart and her race in the TBS Championship, kind of playing her muscle in her second, which was a great dynamic that got Julia Hart even more over during that fall period when she was chasing the TBS Championship. And now he's been in the Continental Classic with great matches against the likes of Eddie Kingston as well as Andrade El Idolo. Where do you think Brody King ranks for 2023?
He's at least in the main event, and I think I'm going to say main event ahead of Athena. What a run he's had.
I wouldn't put her at Athena. I wouldn't put her at Athena, but I would put him in the main event.
Even his Julia Hart work, which might be the best work he's done. He just felt like a star hanging out with his small child. It's fucking big things, more big things, I hope.
Indeed. And this is another one where I think we might have a difference of opinion. The American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. And for a guy who suffered 2 injuries in this year, where he lost at least 4 months of the year, still had a Wrestler of the Year campaign because in January, in the first part of the year, he has the whole gauntlet on the way to the MJF match with great matches against Takeshita and Bandito, and then the classic, one of the best matches in Dynamite history with Roosh. Then he has the classic, one of the greatest, if not the, it is the greatest Iron Man match of all time against MJF at Revolution. He takes some time off, comes back into the hottest angle in AEW at the time in the spring of the Elite versus the BCC with the Anarchy in the Arena. Great matchup at Double or Nothing. The great Blood and Guts matchup in July. He gets injured just before that in a great matchup with Akashika Okada at Forbidden Door. He comes back from the arm injury and instantly has a 5-star matchup with Ricky Starks. He has another great matchup with Ricky on Collision. He has great matches with Christian Cage on Collision and then Swerve on Dynamite. He gets injured again with a broken orbital bone and then comes back and he's in the Continental Classic with classics against Eddie Kingston and Andrade El Idolo. Bryan Danielson, I think that he is our first that should be at the tippy top. And this is not including the stuff he does behind the scenes for AEW.
It is not included. It is not.
Yes, it does. This is what he did in 2023. He put the hammer down and he did what Tony Khan wouldn't do and put the hammer down. Bryan Danielson, you keep at all costs.
Sorry. He was out for 4 months. He was out for a quarter of the year, and everything was fine. Dragon is the best wrestler ever. That is a fact. He's the best wrestler in the world, even though people like you have tried to get rid of him for 15 years, saying it's somebody else. It's Okada. It's Ospreay. It's Omega. It's everybody except Bryan Danielson. Has been the case for 15 years straight. I love you all. I love you all. And I will let you know.
The only times that I didn't say Bryan Danielson was the greatest was when he was retired for 3 years.
I love you. I love you. I wouldn't let you look foolish.
People like me.
I would let you know when it's not Dragon. I'll let you know. Don't worry about it. I got you. I will let you know when it's not Dragon. But it's been Dragon for 15 years straight. It is what it is. And this year is the rest of the year. It is what it is. But he's not the tippy top because he ain't the tippy top. It is what it is. I'm sorry.
So where do you put him?
What's right next to the tippy top? Future Hall of Fame. Right there. At the top of the Future Hall of Fame.
Okay.
And he had one of the best promos I've heard this year.
The meditation one.
Oh my God.
And that is why this will be the one time I override you. And yes, he is in keep at all costs. I don't care what the fuck this guy says. Bryan Danielson, the greatest wrestler of all time, but I'm not gonna put him at the tippy top.
No,
this is some bullshit.
Objective.
You talk out of both sides of your mouth.
Objective. It's not about who's the best wrestler ever. It's about 2023.
You are the farthest thing from objective, sir.
Bryan Danielson is one of my top 5 favorite wrestlers ever. He's not at the tippy top this year. That's not how that works. Sorry.
Buddy Matthews of the House of Black, former AEW World Trios champions as part of the House of Black. Like I said before, winning the Trios championships against the Elite at Revolution. He's had great matches against Andrade El Idolo during the early stages of Collision, the great matchup that they had on the first episode of Collision. Many call one of the best matches in that show's short history, as well as their follow-up ladder match. So great matches on TV. Even had a really good matchup with Claudio Castagnoli at the Wrestle Dream Full Gear pre-show, but not many opportunities in ring, if not in trios action. So what do you think about Buddy Matthews for 2023?
Bottom of the mid card or top of the mid, whichever you prefer.
Yeah, I think bottom of mid card is good. If you kind of win a title, I kind of can say like you accomplished something. So mid card seems pretty all right. So this is our tier list so far here.
This is not our tier list. This is SP3.
This is our tier list. Our tier list. Look, my nigga, I've let you pick every single person here, and I pick one. I override one, and no, it's not my tier list.
This is your tier list. I'm not mad at it. I'm enjoying the ride.
This is tier list. This is
enjoying the ride.
This is some bullshit. I'm never doing a tier list with this guy again. I'm never doing a tier list with this guy again. It's supposed to be a collaborative effort, and I make one choice, and now it's not his.
You and I are collaborating. You and I are collaborating on your tier list. I agree.
No, this is our tier list because I would definitely not have Bandito in mid. I would definitely.
That's what I'm saying. He would have
Athena. I would have Athena in future Hall of Fame.
Oh my God, he overrates everything. He cannot help himself. He cannot.
So this is our tier list, sir. This is definitely not
this he cannot help himself.
Not mine. This is definitely not mine. Always, and see, he's always insulting me too. You see this type of trash I have to deal with.
In the future Hall of Fame. You know, AEW.
She's a future Hall of Famer. We got FTR's Cash Wheeler, one half of the former two-time AEW World Tag Team Champions. FTR made their return to AEW at Revolution this year, stepping up to the Guns. They went on to beat the Guns for the AEW World Tag Team titles and held the titles for about 5 months with great matches. One of the best matches of the year against Bullet Club Gold, Switchblade Jay White, and Juice Robinson on the episode of Collision. 2 out of 3 falls matchup, a great matchup in Wembley Stadium against the Young Bucks, but their title reign kind of stopped. It kind of ended prematurely to a lot of people against Ricky Starks and Big Bill in October, and they've kind of been in a mid-card feud with House of Black since then. What do you think overall for Cash Wheeler in 2023?
Mid-card, I suppose.
I would say near the top of the mid-card. Or middle of the mid card right now. Yeah, that seems about right.
Yeah, I remember when they were the best thing going. How'd that work out? Book of the year, absolutely.
Next up, we have the first ever AEW World Champion, Chris Jericho, the Le Champion, the Demo God. Kicked off the year in a feud with Ricky Starks. He went on to lose to Ricky Starks at Revolution. From there, he got into a feud with Adam Cole. He lost to Adam Cole at Double or Nothing in one of the worst matches of the year. They followed up that and lost to Adam Cole and Britt Baker with Saraya in a mixed tag team matchup on the Dynamite after that. Then he got into a feud with Sting and Darby Allin. Anybody remember that? They lost at Forbidden Door to those guys. Then from there, he got into a whole story with JAS and Don Callis trying to recruit him. And then JAS breaks apart and Don Callis betrays him. Will Ospreay comes into the company and Will Ospreay beats him at All In. Then Jericho aligns himself with Kenny Omega, creating the Golden Jets to fight against Don Callis family. They go on to lose at AEW Wrestle Dream, but eventually beat the Don Callis family in the Like a Dragon street fight on Dynamite on November 15th. And then the Golden Jets defeated the Young Bucks at Full Gear, and now are the number 1 contenders for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. And yes, we are recording this after Jericho and Omega were in one of the worst segments of AEW's year with Ricky Starks and Big Bill on the December 13th Winter is Coming edition of Dynamite. So where does Jericho rank for 2023? 1 in 6 on pay-per-view.
We're not going to count his previous accomplishments. I mean, he's one of the greatest wrestlers ever.
Yeah.
He's one of the most overall talented wrestlers ever.
Yeah.
He's won championship upon championship. So he should be in the main event. He gets that bump, right?
I mean, skill. If you think that his skill is still at that level, I guess.
Feel free.
No, where do you think he should go? It's your list.
Again, everybody, it's my list. Great. So move Dragon down to future Hall of Famer, and then put Jericho in the fucking mid card where he belongs.
All right. Jericho is in the mid card. Next up, Christian Cage, the current TNT champion, the best heel in the company, the best heel in wrestling, Father of the Year. He started off the year returning, restarting his rivalry with Jungle Boy Jack Perry, where they had a great matchup, the final burial match at Revolution, which made Jungle Boy look very strong at the end of their feud. From there, he became more of a manager, leading Luchasaurus against TNT champion Wardlow, eventually taking that title off of him on the first episode of Collision, where Christian took the title and never let Luchasaurus touch it and started referring to himself as TNT champion for quite a long time, getting into a rivalry with Sting and Darby Allin, which led to the coffin match, great match at All In with Swerve Strickland and Christian Cage versus Darby Allin and Sting. From there, Darby Allin versus Luchasaurus at All Out in another really good matchup with Luchasaurus beating Darby Allin. Then there was a triple threat where Christian finally won the title for himself, pinning his own son, or his proxy son of Luchasaurus, to get the championship. That led to the great main event of Wrestle Dream with Darby Allin and Christian Cage. Best 2 out of 3 falls, with Christian Cage picking up the victory. And then at the end of the night, it was Adam Copeland, the friend of 40 years of Christian Cage, making his debut to All Elite Wrestling to basically stop Christian Cage from committing concerto murder to their hero of Sting. And he's been involved in a rivalry with Adam Copeland ever since. Christian Cage, 2023. Where do you put him, Jimmy?
At the top. At the tippy top. By himself.
Keep at all costs. I agree. Christian Cage, right there with Bryan Danielson. Keep at all costs. The best character of 2023. Any best memories or anything you remember you think years from now of Christian Cage in 2023?
I keep repeating randomly whenever I'm alone in the house. Never get on your knees for another person. I don't know why that cracked me up as much as it did. It's just the whole moment. It's still one of the best promos ever. Christian Cage, all-time heel. All time. I'm not sure where, like 2000 Triple H, late 80s Flair. He's all time. 2023 Christian Cage.
Christian Cage, the patriarch. The patriarchy.
Beating up Brittle Danielson. Oh, so good.
Nigel commentating for Christian. That's made him even better. I hope Nigel's on this here. Please. Christopher Daniels, not much on camera stuff, mostly with Ring of Honor, teaming up with Matt Sydal. No big like angles or matches for AEW. He is, of course, the head of talent relations, and his biggest noteworthy thing in 2023 was getting kicked out by CM Punk from Collision backstage.
Absolutely. Couldn't even do your job right. Beat it. Love you. The bricks.
This is a contract not renewed.
Bye, sir.
Damn, that's rough.
All time. Christopher Daniels, all time. One of my favorite characters. I think The Fallen Angel was one of the coolest gimmicks ever. It's just over. It happens. It happened.
Chucky T, a member of the Best Friends tag team partner to Trent Beretta, was in the Stadium Stampede matchup. Great match at All In, where they got the victory alongside Orange Cassidy and the Lucha Bros. Not much else outside of that. They did have the parking lot fight with the Blackpool Combat Club. Following that, ahead of I believe that was ahead of All Out. So, what do you think Chucky T ranks for 2020?
As much as I want to put him in a contract not renewed, which I just want to. I suppose he's mid if you force me to choose. Otherwise,
someone low key that's had a great year, Claudio Castagnoli. Claudio Castagnoli came into this year winning the Ring of Honor World Championship at Final Battle against Chris Jericho. He held that title for most of 2023. He was involved, of course, in the great BCC versus the Elite storyline. Had great matches on Ring of...
Great.
BCCs versus the Elite it was not great. No.
It was a great storyline. It was great.
Now it's not.
Edge and Christian is great. This is next to that. Come on, man.
Great Elite and BCC storyline. He had some really good to great matches again on Ring of Honor television as well as for the Ring of Honor.
It's a screwdriver. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
I can't take this guy nowhere. I can't take this guy nowhere.
I'm serious. I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit.
I'm just not. Claudio Castagnoli, great matches on Dynamite against the likes of Ray Phoenix. He had some great matches against Orange Cassidy as well. And of course, the rivalry with Eddie Kingston at the start of the year and then culminating at Grand Slam in New York City with Eddie Kingston beating him for the Ring of Honor World Championship. Always a constant with the Blackpool Combat Club and finishing off the year in the Continental Classic where he's had great matches against Eddie Kingston as well as Brody King. Where do you have Claudio Castagnoli?
It feels quite blasphemous to put him next to Brody. I don't think he belongs in mid-card either.
I think he's like bottom of main event. I think he will get separated from Brody as we add more people, but I think he is bottom of main event for everything he's done.
Yeah, sure.
Colt Cabana. I mean,
you help take part in that debacle, spreading misgivings about CM Punk backstage, which led to Hangman saying something stupid, which led to etc. 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 You'll never be forgiven. Ever.
Colton Gunn, should we just put him next to Austin?
Absolutely. As the Arnold Schwarzenegger to Austin's Danny DeVito.
I am done. Danhausen, gotta love that Danhausen. Danhausen. He was injured, and then he came back, and he still is one of the top merch sellers of the year for AEW, despite being injured for most of it.
AEW fans suck. It's the only time I've ever disagreed with CM Punk. Who's a Danhausen guy, apparently. Feel free. Go for it.
No, where do you think? Mid?
No, I don't. He'd be
contract not.
That's why I said you should probably go.
Put him next to. He didn't do much. So we'll put him next to Chucky. Best friends. Daniel Garcia. This is an interesting case of just a complete drop off from 2022 as far as like attention and whatnot. They've kind of created this whole story at the end of the year with his dancing and being a sports entertainer has prevented him from progressing as a professional wrestler, which has been interesting, especially with the Continental Classic, especially him switching up to the old tights against Bryan Danielson. I thought that was an excellent touch in that matchup. And I like the storytelling that they've shown from Daniel Garcia, but it doesn't take away from the fact that January through basically September, they did not give a fuck about him.
Yes, he's the guy who dances. Is this true that Jericho?
And it got over. It got over really well. He was in that 4-way at Forbidden Door with ZSJ, Orange Cassidy, and Shibata, where he was one of the most over guys. He had a great match with Shibata at Death Before Dishonor, but yeah, they just didn't give him a lot of stuff to do like they should have.
That's not over. His dance is over. It's like fucking Rollins in that stupid song. The song is over. Yes, it's very over. That's all he's got. No offense, sir, or to Garcia. Is it true Jericho nixed him being in the BCC?
Yes.
For real?
Yes.
Poor bastard.
So you're making me want to pit Jericho in mid.
We're not counting backstage stuff. This is on screen. He could be in the mid. I'm sorry.
Top of the mid, at least?
7 months, sure.
Poor guy. You had a great match with Bryan Danielson. I feel like bottom of mid card, but this is your list. You can do whatever you like.
Storyline.
This is your list. So.
Jesus fucking Christ. I love how his storyline push he's getting at the end of the year involves him just losing more matches. Absolutely, sure. The big thing he's got going is losing. Sure.
I feel like it's leading to him getting the big win at the end of the tournament against Brody King. That's his final.
Oh my fucking god! If they do that to Brody, what the fuck? This goofy ass shit. God, it's like, oh. All right, I was had a stroke.
Why are you so upset?
Fuck. We moved on. We've moved on from Daniel Garcia to Brody King. We cannot sacrifice Brody King for anything that's not worth it. You see what this tier list is? Nobody under this tier list, nobody under Brody should be beating Brody. That's how the tier list should work. You're under Brody, you can't beat Brody.
Brody done beat Claudio, and Claudio's right next to him. So
That's right. Hit the bricks. Everybody else.
That was great. Dante Martin, unfortunately, of course, he started off the year with Top Flight being used in Ring of Honor. He was in the Reach for the Sky ladder match where he suffered that nasty looking ankle injury after the Canadian Destroyer from Penta. And he recently came back. Looks good. Looks like he's still got his hops to him, but not much from this year.
No, it does not.
So where do you put him?
I mean, where do you put him?
Just tell me. Could you stop playing with the games? Just
I'm playing the games. Every time I say what I think, it's not good. Contract not renewed. Contract not renewed. Same thing I would have had Chuck. Same thing I would have had Danhausen. I'm sorry. This is not. You're not to take the things seriously. Like, I actually want that contract not renewed, but that is the bottom of the tier list, is it not? All right, then. So what do you want from me?
Wow, we can't even put him at mid?
Call it contract not renewed / niggas always hurt. Whatever you want. That is what it is.
That's for him. He gets niggas always. I'm putting it, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care. I'm not gonna do this to Dante. I'm not gonna do this.
You can put him at the bottom of the mid card. Bottom of mid. It does not bother me. These people
niggas always hurt. And you said Chucky T and Danhausen too?
Yeah, yep.
Danhausen was hurt, so
yeah, sure.
Hurt. And Chucky T, oh god, man, this is horrible.
You had to make budget cuts. You're Tony Khan. You got Daddy's son to false it off. You got to make budget cuts. Would you not cut Chucky T?
I would definitely not cut Dante or Danhausen because Danhausen merch mover.
Fine. Dante's always hurt. Sorry. Niggas always hurt. It is what it is.
It's like we made a niggas always hurt. It's just that. Just Darby Allin. Low key, had a busy ass year. He started off the year beating Samoa Joe, having that great program with Joe over the TNT Championship. Really strong 1 month reign where he was defending the title on nearly every single show before losing the title back to Joe. From there, he was involved mostly in the 4 Pillars storyline ahead of Double or Nothing, which was a fantastic matchup, but definitely not a fantastic build to that matchup. After that, him and Sting teamed up with Tetsuya Naito to defeat Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Minoru Suzuki at Forbidden Door. From there, he was involved in the All In with Swerve Strickland and the Mogul Embassy. That whole storyline that involved AR Fox turning on him and joining Mogul Embassy and jumping Nick Wayne at his house, bloodying him. So Darby Allin had to get revenge with Sting getting the win over Swerve Strickland and Christian Cage in the coffin match. All the while he was dealing with Mogul Embassy, he was also dealing with Christian Cage and Luchasaurus over on Collision ahead of the TNT Championship matchup because he won the Royal Rampage, and then he first Luchasaurus at All Out where he lost. They continued the rivalry from there, which led to the great main event matchup at Wrestle Dream against Christian Cage, and then he's teamed up with Adam Copeland along with Sting to defeat the Christian Coalition, aka the Patriarchy, at Full Gear, and of course he's going to be involved in the whole road to Sting's retirement in 2024. Darby Allin, man, he's like clearly like MJF has separated himself from the rest of the Pillars. He proved that during the build-up to the Pillars feud. But after the Pillars feud, Darby Allin may have not got closer to MJF, but he definitely separated himself from the other two.
Yeah, all he did was not fuck up while the other two stink at their job. So yeah, he could be in the main event. I'm sorry. Darby's great, but he's made no progress from where, I don't know, a couple years ago. I'm not knocking it. He was already great. He stayed great. However, the other two, not named MJF, have faltered, we'll say. That's a good way to put it. They've faltered.
We got Darius Martin, who is mostly used on... I'm sure that's Darius Martin, yes. Darius Martin, who
is this light-skinned Negro? He's not as light as some of the other light Negroes, but he's darker than most light Negroes. I think that's Darius.
Started off the year with Top Flight. Unfortunately, Dante gets injured as Supercard of Honor, and then he starts teaming with Action Andretti. They had a good feud with the Kingdom over on Ring of Honor television during the Universal Studios days. He's used sporadically on AEW and Ring of Honor, off and on with both shows. So, what do you put, Darius?
This is for the year. I think he's First of all, can we move Brandon Cutler to the bottom of this fucking thing? Like
I don't know how people work with the tier list. Like the top of the tier is like the face of it for me. So I feel like Brandon Cutler is the face of contract not renewed.
I always did it from top to like fucking video game rankings. Like
okay, so you put bottom. You put the bottom of the bottom. Okay, got it. Right.
I don't know about Darius.
I would say mid.
Yeah, you put him in that group. Look at that group. Darius goes in that group. It's a solid goddamn group. No offense.
I mean, for a nigga that's always hurt, he didn't get hurt this year.
For a what? Oh, that's true. That's true. All right.
We are just doing it on the years, so that's what I said. Be that's more true. Mid than contract not renew or niggas always hurt.
He's mid.
Next, we got the other half of FTR, Dax Harwood. I went over FTR's year already with Cash Wheeler. Do we put him up there or do we put him higher than Cash?
We can put him in front of Cash, but I can't put him in the main event. I can't.
Got you. I think if their title reign would have ended stronger, I think that we could have put them in main event.
I mean, yeah, they had a really solid year.
Their reign was really good. It was really good, but then like, I feel like, fizzled. Yeah, no, I just feel like they just ended it. They just chose to end it.
I'm gonna guess it's punishment. I'm sticking with my theory. It's punishment for not wanting to work with the Bucks. All of a sudden, Punk's going, we can bow our chest out. You niggas gonna do what the fuck I say. You're gonna lose the belts, boy.
Next, we got Diamante, who's been mostly used on Ring of Honor television. She's made an alliance with Mercedes Martinez and has been used pretty frequently on Collision. She's currently in a rivalry with Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale alongside Mercedes Martinez, but not too much on AEW. So where do you put Diamante?
Well, you know better than I. I do my best to avoid Ring of Honor when I get the chance.
Yeah, I'd say mid. Bottom mid, yeah, not much to her. Dustin Rhodes, if they're in Texas, they use him. He's faced Lance Archer in Texas. He was a part of like multi-man matches and tag team matches alongside Keith Lee. He was involved in the Keith Lee Swerve rivalry from earlier this year. You remember that? I don't think AEW does. Naturally Limitless is the team of him and Keith Lee. So Dustin Rhodes.
Dustin Rhodes is somebody who, if I was in charge of AEW, I would immediately start I thought they were doing like this final push, this final run he's going to go on until he loses. But they just keep starting and stopping it. So, not renewed, sir. Sorry.
Unfortunately.
I think there's something in him. Like, he still have like a good little 6-month run. Maybe chasing.
He cuts great promos. When they give him like he's like that Moxley form of the 2-minute backstage pre-tape promo. He nails those.
How great would a 1 month fucking Dustin Rhodes versus Christian Cage feud be? Then Christian beats him, we move on.
Talk about someone with daddy issues. Oh, that would be great. That would be fucking fantastic. Oh, I want that so much right now. Oh my God. Since we can't get Cody versus Christian would be, oh my God. This current Christian character against Cody.
That'd be fucking great. Demon time.
It would be classic stuff. Our boy, New York's own Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston as kind of, I don't even know if it's arguably anymore, the best year of his career as far as accomplishments. He's won the Ring of Honor World Championship, finally defeating Claudio Castagnoli, getting another win over Claudio in the Continental Classic as well. Totally kind of exercising that demon of his career. He defeated Kenta in Japan, got to perform in Japan for New Japan Pro Wrestling for the first time this year, beating Kenta to become the NJPW Strong Openweight Champion. His return really kind of brought a different vibe to it this past summer when he came back to AEW television. It was like, oh shit, Eddie's back. Yeah, now shit's getting interesting. Everything he did with Blackpool Combat Club, whether it was the stuff with Moxley ahead of All In, the stuff with Renee backstage ahead of All In. Some of the best promos we've been seeing during the Continental Classic has been from Eddie following his matches, and he's been delivering great matches with the likes of Bryan Danielson and Claudio Castagnoli and Brody King. Eddie Kingston, a fabulous year from where we started with Eddie Kingston. I don't think that a lot of people saw this. We always thought that he would kind of be the guy that would always come close but never win like big ones or titles, and he's won 2. He was a double champion in 2023.
I love Eddie Kingston. Best promo in AEW. One of the best 10 promos ever. I got it. This year has been weird for him, for as far as I'm concerned, because it's way more than he's ever had, but still not quite what he's worth, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh yeah, he deserves
top of the main event. Maybe, yeah, top of the main event.
I think that's fair. That's the first person I would definitely say. I agree. Definitely, I would put him ahead of Athena because he's been used more in AEW, and just anything he does, his promo matches, it's been great. It's been something you remember from the shows he's been on.
Great. Eddie's fucking great.
Next up, we got Emi Sakura, one of our personal kind of low-key favorites, where we always compliment her work whenever she's thrown on a show, whether it's a match on Rampage against Jamie Hayter, a match in Ring of Honor against Athena, a match on AEW Dynamite against Hikaru Shida. Emi Sakura makes the most of her minutes, but she hasn't been given a whole lot. She's a very veteran talent that they always throw out there, and they know they can deliver a good match against pretty much anyone on the roster. What do you think Emi Sakura deserves to be?
Oh, the match is really hard. She's rather mean to the rather small woman. She's rather on the rougher side. Maybe I'm just overprotective because I love Julia Hart.
Yeah, I think so.
Hey, stop chopping on that goddamn Hart. Leave it alone. She's probably mid.
Seems about right. I would say above Daddy Ass.
Yeah.
I would say these two have had more prominent roles in 2023, so I would put
yes, not quite where they were supposed to be, but
not quite where they were supposed to be, but at least out of this group, we have seen them most of 2023. Someone else I think we're gonna have to put in the mid. All ego Ethan Page, unfortunately. He had the whole feud with the Hardy Party at the beginning of the year when he was a part of the Firm, which led to him joining up with the Hardy Party and turning babyface. Had a showcase matchup against MJF on an episode of Collision in Canada, where he came up short for the AEW World Championship. Recently came up short against Kenny Omega back in Canada in Montreal on an episode of Collision. He's been feuding with Tony Nese over on Ring of Honor, and will face him in an I Quit matchup at Final Battle. So what do you think? Ethan Page, I think mid at best.
Yeah, I love Ethan Page. He's fucking fantastic. He might be the most underrated person on the roster, quite frankly.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, Charlie.
Unfortunately, there. Evil Uno. Dark Order turned heel this year. That's all I can remember.
And they got BTE.
Yeah, they be in the Dark Order. I mean, getting BTE from the Young Bucks may keep him out of contract not renewed.
For you, maybe. But you can go through all this and find all them niggas right now and put them all right there. Even Silverhorn, like, they would all be there for me. Sorry.
Jesus Christ. Should I not even waste time?
There you go. Sorry. And the other one, Reynolds. Where's Reynolds at? Is he on?
Would be in the R? The R's? Why would he not be in the
A? Isn't he in Alex?
Yeah, that Alex would be his. Where are you? Is he hiding? He's hiding from us. He's hiding from us. He's got a nice disguise. He's got a nice disguise. Yeah, they didn't add him. They added all the rest of the Dark Order except for him. Griff Garrison, another contract not renewed.
Yeah, sorry, Shirley.
Hasn't done much even in Ring of Honor. Harley Cameron, QTV.
Yeah, you know what time it is. Shit's clearing up quick.
Yeah, it is. Now we got something here. Hikaru Shida, who has had a good year, but definitely not what a lot of her fans want her. They want her to get more. She's had 2 reigns with the AEW Women's World Championship, beating Toni Storm on Dynamite 200 before losing the title to Saraya at All In, and then beating Saraya for the title at Title Tuesday before losing the championship to Timeless Toni Storm at Full Gear. Hikaru Shida always delivers good matches. She's even main event a couple of the Dynamite episodes, but definitely not. I wouldn't put her in the main event.
No, she's a solid hand. You know, you mid-card. Mid-card.
I would say, does she belong in this top bunch with the mid-card? I would say so.
Behind FTR,
yeah. Makes sense.
Just like them.
These are all people that have won titles, and Jericho. Another person I think we're gonna have to put in the either mid or mid card, unfortunately. Hook has been FTW champion for most of the year. He had a brief rivalry with Jungle Boy Jack Perry, who turned on him at Forbidden Door. He lost the FTW championship to Jack Perry before winning it back at All In the match that is now infamous for being the prelude before Jack Perry got beat up by CM Punk backstage. He's now teamed up with Orange Cassidy and is part of Best Friends and currently feuding with Wheeler Yuta. What do you think for Hook?
Got beat up by CM Punk backstage is a wild way to put it, but it's also accurate. He's got to be in. Boy, Jesus, he's boy. On general principle, he can't be with fucking Garcia and Britt. He's got to be in mid card.
Okay.
He's a prominent
above Jericho. We're putting everybody above Jericho.
I don't want to.
Yeah, they won titles. They won a title this year. Sorry.
This is not me, sir, if you're watching.
This is your tier list. I'm asking you, and you're not giving me an answer.
He's that's a good spot. Leave him right there.
Isaiah Cassidy, who's been a part of the Hardy Party, been hanging out with Matt and Jeff. Not a lot of big opportunities outside of the firm rivalry earlier this year.
What happened to the brother? What happened to Mark Quinn?
He's been injured this whole time. It's been over a year now. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's not good. Jesus. I'm trying to look at this contract not renewed. Dante's in there. Like, it's kind of hard not to put you in there too.
Yeah, it's like yeah. Contract not renewed. Next up, Jack Perry.
Contract not renewed. Get rid of this nigga. How dare you? Besmirch the great name of CM Punk.
That is wild.
I don't know where he should go. Fucking what did he do this year? Let's hear your
mid.
pitch.
He was involved in the great matchup with Christian Cage at Revolution, culminating their rivalry that started last year after Christian turned on him. From there, he was involved in the 4 Pillar storyline, which did not do good for him as far as the build, but he was involved in the excellent matchup, the 4-way at Double or Nothing. He then lost to Sonata at Forbidden Door, where Sonata didn't even want to hit him with his main finisher, hit him with a secondary finisher to beat him. And then he turned on Hook. He won the FTW championship, kind of cashing in on his promise at the beginning of the year that he would win a singles title, but it was the FTW championship. He beat Rob Van Dam, a WWE Hall of Famer, then was in the matchup at All In, where he used real glass, Crimea River.
In between then, he cut one of the worst promos I've ever heard. His opening heel promo. That shit was fucking heinous. He's got the charisma of a fly. He could be mid, I suppose. I can't really justify.
Is he in that top portion of mid?
He should probably be ahead of the fucking Britain Garcia, quite frankly.
I agree.
Gotta be unbiased here, as much as I hate his guts.
Jade Cargill, which, I mean, they would have renewed her contract, so we can't put her
certainly.
We got Jade Cargill was TBS champion starting off the year. She was in the rivalry with Taya Valkyrie after Taya debuted with the company, culminating with their matchup at Double or Nothing, where Jade beat her. But then immediately Chris Statlander made a return after Jade made a challenge to anyone in the back. Chris Statlander accepted and beat her in seconds. They had a great match a couple of months later on an episode of Rampage, and that was it for Jade Cargill in AEW. So just 5 months to kind of judge her on here. Where do you put Jade Cargill?
And those 5 months were not her best 5 months.
Yeah.
Repetitive booking. Between mid card and mid.
I think she's gonna have to join the champions row of mid card.
Okay. I'm not mad.
Where did she go?
5 months. She got to be towards the bottom.
Okay. Below Jericho?
As blasphemous as it is, put a black person below Jericho. Yes, I think below Jericho.
No, that's what it is. Put a black person below Jericho. If you're gonna get one quote from this video, there it is. Jake Hager, member of the JAS. He wore a hat a lot. 2023.
Bye, sir.
Jamie Hayter, another 5-month sample for us here, but she started off the year AEW Women's World Champion, had a hard-hitting banger with Emi Sakura on Rampage. She was involved in the Outcast storyline with Britt Baker against Saraya, Ruby Soho, and Toni Storm, eventually losing the AEW Women's World Championship to Toni Storm at Double or Nothing, and then she has been out with injury ever since, but one of the most popular stars in all of AEW at the time of her being out of action.
One of my favorite wrestlers on the planet. Somebody we were on the train of before she got her push.
Yes.
Before she got cheered. Before you dummies think you invented a bandwagon. She's got to be in the mid card, ahead of Jade. Ahead of Sheeta, I'd say.
That's fair. Despite Sheeta having 2 reigns, Jamie's 1 reign was better than her 2 reigns. So yeah, I agree.
I really wish she'd been the main event.
What happened? Yeah, I mean, I think if she doesn't get hurt, she would have been main event for sure. Because I think she would have held the title at least till All In. I get people that tell me that the Saraya decision was last minute, but that seemed like that was something Tony wanted to do for a while, just to tokenize, just a token moment, a token moment. So yeah. Anyway, but I think that she would have held the title until then, at least. Next up, we got Jay Lethal, who has been a member of Team TNA for most of the year, and ironically gave us one of our favorite segments of the whole entire year, which was Team TNA at the chicken farm with Mark Briscoe.
Which one? Both of them.
Both of them. They were involved in that tag team matchup with FTR at Double or Nothing, coming up short for the AEW World Tag Team titles. They started off the year feuding with the Acclaim over the AEW World Tag Team titles. They were involved in the 4-way at Revolution for those titles. Then they were involved in the AEW World Trios Championship. They were involved in the AEW International Championship. And now Jay Lethal is in the Continental Classic. Despite not being involved in a lot of mainline feuds, he was always fucking used. Where does Jay Lethal go?
Watching Continental Classic and that promo with Briscoe afterwards, I forgot how good Jay Lethal actually is. But he doesn't win anything ever.
No.
He's got to be in mid. I'm sorry, you just don't win enough.
Is he below or above Jack Perry?
Above. Sorry.
Yeah, he gets used. He gets used way a lot.
Indeed.
Like Jack Perry is a failed main eventer, while Lethal is failing as a mid-carder. So I think that's
less disappointment somehow.
Less disappointment to deal with. All right, this is an interesting one based on how we started his journey in AEW with Switchblade Jay White, who came into the company in April, debuting on AEW Dynamite in Long Island. From there, he kickstarted a rivalry with Ricky Starks, feuding with him, getting a couple of victories over him in singles competition. He was involved in the international title, I think it was Lucky 21 Battle Royal at Double or Nothing. But then from there, he started building momentum with the start of Collision, where he and Bullet Club Code really formed, with Juice Robinson joining up with Austin and Colton Gunn, becoming a mainstay and kind of a featured talent on that show, with their rivalry with FTR over the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Nearly an hour and a half in the ring with Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, and all the pinfalls that FTR got over Bullet Club Gold were all on Juice Robinson, and they couldn't figure out a way to beat Switchblade Jay White. He would go on to beat the likes of Hangman Adam Page, Mark Briscoe, Penta El Zero Mero on his way to AEW Full Gear, where he challenged MJF for the AEW World Championship, coming up short against a one-legged man, but still coming out of it looking like a main eventer and looking like one of the favorites in the Continental Classic, where he still has a chance to win the entire tournament. From where we started with Jay White, we definitely made an improvement by the end of the year.
We certainly fucking did. Thanks to Collision. You're welcome. Goat Punk. That's an interesting one. Jay White's work is always phenomenal. I mean, what garbage he's given.
I would say main event.
Oh, thank God. Great. Sure.
We're on the same page?
We are.
Okay.
I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to hear how he belongs a tier above that. That's mid card.
No, I had to, dude. I'm like, come on. Really?
Ahead of Darby, ahead of Claudio.
Brody, I think Brody.
Yeah, ahead of Athena too.
Yeah,
Eddie. I think I'd be ahead of Eddie too.
Eddie beat him. Eddie beat him. That's why he can't go back to New Japan.
I thought it was an AEW tier list. What is this New Japan?
That's true. That's true. All right, top of the main event. Seems fair.
Jay White.
All right.
Good. More good things next year, sir.
Indeed. First gold in AEW, I think we see in 2024. I'm not sure which one, but first gold in 2024. Next up, Jeff Hardy comes back beginning of the year, involved in the Hardy Party firm storyline, but then quickly stops being used more and more throughout the year, based on the fact that Tony Khan had some really big plans for them in 2022, and Jeff Hardy effed up. But now we got Jeff Hardy already, not even wasting time. He's complaining that he feels like a ghost again backstage.
That cannot lead to a good scenario. Holy, I feel bad. I don't feel bad. That's strong, but I understand Jeff's complaints. He's got to be mid, right?
Yeah. I mean, contract not renewed.
Listen, I'm not mad at it. If that was the case.
I mean, he is a star though, so I guess bottom of mid seems right appropriate. Now I think this is the most fun we're gonna have. That was not fun assessing Jeff Hardy 2023. Now let's assess Jeff Jarrett's 2023. Our favorite Cardi, who has never hit the stroke and not celebrated before going for a pinfall. AEW World Tag Team Championship feuds with FTR and the Acclaimed. AEW International title match with Orange Cassidy. This dude had one of the worst matches of the year with Jeff Hardy in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre matchup. But yet and still, we are still tickled and have so much joy watching Jeff Jarrett in 2023. So I don't know where you would rank him. I'm gonna Jesus take the wheel, Jimmy take the
wheel. As much as I enjoy Jeff Jarrett, way more than I should in fucking 2023. I'm gonna put him at the top of the mid, ahead of Jay Lethal. His
that
group member.
Seems right. He's the most entertaining out of this group.
Yes, just is. Sorry. I know most of you hate Jeff Jarrett. I don't. He's fucking hilarious.
I enjoy him way too much. Way too much. Johnny TV. Unfortunately, he got with this company and they immediately put him with QTV. So, yeah.
Have you heard any inside noise about why fucking Dummy loved QT Marshall so much?
Because he was very helpful for AEW backstage.
All right. Contract not renewed, sir. Sorry.
Unfortunately. And you're a star. You have some type of name value, but you'll be right there with another former WWE talent. So next we have former 3-time AEW World Champion Jon Moxley, the bane of Jimmy Macram's existence.
Don't say it, Head. The best 2-minute promo in the business.
Weapon in hand, too. And Blackpool Combat Club, they better wear out Kenny as long as they can. Hangman's going to come out here.
Me and Romeo start laughing at the same time every time. It just takes a second for the register how awful that was.
But Jon Moxley has had a very good year, starting off the year in his rivalry with Hangman Adam Page. Some great matches on Dynamite before their classic Texas Death Match at Revolution 2023, with Moxley coming up short and tapping out to Hangman Adam Page, which immediately made him into the biggest dick in the world. And he comes back after Revolution and he just starts wailing on people and turning Blackpool Combat Club heel in their rivalry with the Elite, which had that great Anarchy in the Arena matchup where he got an exploding super kick right to the face. Then you have Eddie Kingston come in, and that created a whole new dynamic to this whole situation, leading to a fantastic multi-man matchup at Forbidden Door involving those two. He was involved in the Blood and Guts match in July. Then he got into his rivalry with Orange Cassidy from there in the Stadium Stampede match at All In, as well as their fantastic main event of All Out, where he won the AEW International Championship, but suffered a concussion quickly thereafter, which led to the whole mess with the International Championship following, and eventually came back where he faced Orange Cassidy in a very good matchup at Full Gear 2023, where he came up short to Orange, but he's come back in the Continental Classic and is currently 4-0 and at the top of the leaderboard of the Gold League. So Jon Moxley, 2023, where do you have
him? Just off GP, he's got to be a man of honor.
Yeah.
He's a very talented man. Best 2-minute promo in the business. His hulking up is heinous, but Working the ring is always solid. You know, you all say it's great. It isn't.
Where do we put him here in the main event?
Fuck.
I think he's future Hall of Famer, but I'm listening to you.
Do you think he's a future? Do you think this year is a future Hall of Fame year?
It's another great year. Not as great as last year. So last year I would have put him at keep at all costs.
Oh
so.
my god! Wait, do you really think it's a future Hall of Fame? Let's hear this fucking argument for this future Hall of Fame year.
I just gave you the argument. All the great matches, great promos, great rivalries. But where do you have him in the main event? Over Moxley, over Kingston and White?
Let's see. Even before this silly argument. Mox, M-E. See? M-E. Of course. Ahead of Kingston.
Not ahead of White?
He's probably ahead of Jay White.
Yeah.
I enjoy Jay White so much.
I do too. I don't blame you. Next up, we got Josh Woods, who has mostly been used on ROH television, managed by Smart Mark Sterling. He's been involved in the Pure Championship, had a good matchup with Katsuyori Shibata for the Pure Championship earlier this year, but not much from AEW. Bye.
Did a great look, sir, at least from this picture.
Here we have now, Jimmy, the president of Too Entertaining to Hate, Juice Robinson, who Jimmy Macram has gone on air and was bad mouthing this man on a weekly basis.
That's
would
strong.
Put him in the yes, you are. You literally put him in a category of Bandito of people they shouldn't have hired. People they shouldn't have hired.
No, not shouldn't have hired. But if I had to get rid of them for fucking Takeshita, I wouldn't a second. Wouldn't think twice. Well, that's changed a little bit, hasn't it?
How much he has turned the year around. He got into a rivalry with Ricky Starks following Revolution, which led to the debut and introduction of Switchblade Jay White and the introduction of Bullet Club Gold, their version of the Bullet Club, where just the personality of Juice Robinson just really shined, where he is just, at best, he's the loudmouth sidekick. He's the loudmouth sidekick to the too cool leader, the too cool evil leader villain. He is the loudmouth sidekick. We've seen it in movies all our life, and Juice Robinson just has that vibe to him, which has made him just very popular among the wrestling fans throughout 2023. From the entrance, from his eccentric promos. One of the funniest promos of the year is after CM Punk gives him the go to sleep on the June episode of Dynamite that Punk appeared on in Chicago. And he's like, why do you want to give me a go to sleep? I'm sleeping enough. I get my 8 hours. Look at my eyes. Look at my eyes. One of the funniest shits you will see this year in professional wrestling is that promo from Juice Robinson. I can't even name matches. I can name promos for days. Juice Robinson that have just been when we said with that Christian Cage rechristening segment, that was a 5-star promo. Low key on the social media promos, the Juice Robinson been having 5-star performances. What do you think, Juice Robinson 2023?
Juice Robinson is fantastic to watch or to listen to, rather. Mid card, but where?
I think I would put him above all these people.
I'm not mad at that take. I think so. On pure entertainment.
Pure. It's like the Jeff Jarrett, like we said with Jarrett in the mid. If you look at everybody else, is he more entertaining than everybody else? Yes, Jarrett's more entertaining than everybody in mid. Is Juice Robinson more entertaining than Brian Cage, Big Bill, FTR, even Jamie Hayter, Karashida, The Guns, Buddy Matthews, Hook, Chris Jericho, and Jay Cargill in 2023 in AEW? Yeah, I have more memorable moments that I would probably remember 2 to 3 years down the line with Juice Robinson in 2023 than anybody else in that tier.
2023, yeah. Problem.
Next up, we got Julia Hart, one of the candidates for most improved wrestler with one of the best entrances in the game. Of course, her real rise started in the fall when she started chasing the TBS championship and had the good matchup with Chris Statlander at Wrestle Dream, kept chasing the title. She had the missed angle where she misted Sky Blue, causing a whole change to her character, misted Willow as well, had good matches on Dynamite and Collision, was featured all over the place. And most of all, she was a fucking draw at the same time. And that led to Full Gear, where she had arguably the best women's matchup on pay-per-view for AEW this year, beating Sky Blue and Chris Statlander to become the TBS champion. Julia Hart, 2023. Where do you got her?
Can I scroll up? Can you scroll up so I can see the top of this? Fuck it. I'm justifying it. I'm putting her in the main event.
I don't. You don't need no justification, brother. We on the same page. Like she is in that tier. Like I would put her like either ahead of Thena or right next to Thena. Like, and maybe ahead of the three guys ahead of her. I don't know where do you have her in this tier?
Right there, I think is perfect. I'm going to make a because I'm a reasonable man. I'm going to request that Mox take a bump. He be future Hall of Fame.
That is fair.
Well, because you put the dragon.
And you know what? You know what? No, you know what? I'm working with you.
It's compromise. Oh,
see, look at that! Look at that! Look at that! Now you could call it our tier list. Look at that! Look at that! I'm compromising with you. We compromised on BCC. We compromised on the BCC.
But speaking of which, Julia Hart.
But of course, this too. Of course, we got to do this.
Absolutely. Speaking of Julia Hart, I saw her boyfriend down there. Her husband. Apologies. Sorry.
Lee Johnson, yeah, right here.
Right at the end. Future endeavor, sir. Sorry, brother. Hey, but you're winning in life, at least for the moment.
Hey, he got his wifey. He got his wifey to have his keep a check going. Keep a check coming in.
Another year or so till she gets sick of you.
Next up, you got Keith Lee. Keith Lee started off the year in the rivalry with Swerve Strickland that never got paid off. Ugh. He's been used more frequently since the start of Collision, where he's been feuding with Shane Taylor. He's about to face Shane Taylor at Final Battle. He's teamed up with Dustin Rhodes. He's had a couple of appearances on Dynamite with matches against Chris Jericho and Samoa Joe, but not the year that should have followed 2022, where I think there could have been an argument that he would be in the main event for 2022, winning the AEW World Tag Team titles, his run with Swerve Strickland towards the end of the year, their rivalry with the Acclaimed, and everything that he accomplished coming over to AEW in 2022, kind of like a distant memory after 2023.
Fucking heinous the way he's been used. Came into AEW heavier than I remember him being. Got himself into shape, had a great little run with Swerve. I thought we were going to a great angle with Swerve, and then he would have been the star coming out of that. None of that has happened. In fact, Swerve has come out looking like a fucking giant. I think he's mid. Let's not forget a couple of appearance changes he attempted.
Yeah,
like he's sat on the sidelines. Yeah, he's sat on the sidelines just fucking being okay. He's tried things. It hasn't worked. But he's so talented. I gotta think it'll work out eventually, right?
Me too. I kind of have to. I have to have faith that it'll work out eventually, or he just have to go back to WWE and Triple H will do better.
Yeah.
Where does he go in the mid?
That looks right. I can't put him ahead of Bridge.
Yeah. That seems about right. Next, we got an interesting one. Ooh. Kenny Omega. who started off the year, of course, over in New Japan doing his thing, but then immediately his first match back, a great match on Dynamite, Game 7 against the Death Triangle with the Elite, winning the AEW World Trios Championships, which they eventually lost at Revolution in another fantastic matchup against House of Black. From there, he was involved in the BCC Elite rivalry, had the tremendous steel cage matchup with John Moxley where Don Callis turns on him, that great ending to Dynamite that we were raving about, which led into kind of him segueing between the BCC, finishing off that rivalry, and also dealing with Don Callis, and then dealing with Will Ospreay, who came in one of the best AEW matches of all time at Forbidden Door, with Will Ospreay coming up short, losing the IWGP United States Championship. But throughout this year, like, he's had great matches on Dynamite with Jeff Cobb, one of the best like aerial or debut matches in AEW history with Vikingo in March. He had then from Forbidden Door, after losing to Ospreay, he dealt with Don Callis a little bit more. He was a part of the great Blood and Guts match that ended the rivalry with the BCC, multi-man matches with the Don Callis family, whether it be at All In, Wrestle Dream, or the Like a Dragon Street Fight, had a 5-star matchup against Takeshita, rated by Dave Meltzer, not by me, by Dave Meltzer, 5 stars at All Out against Takeshita, even though it was fantastic. I was there live. Great stuff.
Let's stop using Dave.
Whenever he's in a singles match, it seems like it's 5 stars or just a great match in general, whether it's against Ethan Page, whether it's against an episode of Dynamite against Kyle Fletcher. Kenny Omega delivers, but he's been stuck in these vortexes of having to deal with his elite friends early in the year, and now his new friend of Chris Jericho by the end of the year with the Golden Jets. It feels like dealing with his friends has held him back from probably being in the top tiers.
It has, according to me. I can't justify putting him next to Dragon and Moxley. I just can't.
I can justify that. That's the most I'll go. I can't go. I would have, like, if he did not have to deal with Jericho at the end of the year, and that he could have just finished out his old Don Callis family rivalry and maybe have another match with Takeshita, that would have been nice. Or maybe the match with Powerhouse Hobbs you were teasing, that would have been nice. If he would have done that, I would have said, like, keep at all costs to future Hall of Famer. Now I'm like future Hall of Famer at best, but stronger argument for sure at the top of main event.
Yeah, well, I was going to say it's not his fault. It just kind of is his fault. That segment this past Dynamite was horrible. It's kind of been whatever the opposite of a cherry on top of this Sunday is. Yeah, sometimes, like I tell my friend here, you got to upgrade your life. And Kenny Omega refuses to upgrade his life. It's been several years now where he refuses to move on from these people he's better than. Sorry, sir. It's just a fact.
It really feels like he was the one. The report that one of the Elite wanted to go to WWE, it really feels like it was him.
Yeah, wow. What would that have been like? That's interesting.
They said they wanted to stick together, and the Bucks wanted to stay in AEW.
I bet you fucking do.
They were like, they ain't gonna do nothing with tag teams in WWE. And then probably Hangman was like, I'll just go whatever. I got a kid, whatever y'all guys want.
How old's Omega? 41? 42?
He's 38.
Younger than I thought. Yeah, it's never gonna happen now. Fair enough. But well, who knows? Sting went. Maybe Omega go at some point. He can lose to fucking Randy Orton, main event, WrestleMania, for some reason. Triple H should have beat Sting. Love you, H. It's a terrible idea.
If we were just judging Omega on singles matches, he's definitely future Hall of Famer. But he's just been involved in trios and tag teams a little too much for our liking. Kiera Hogan, who was mostly used for Ring of Honor. She had that great matchup in Chicago Street Fight with Athena for the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship, but mostly in Ring of Honor, not too much in AEW. What do you think?
I'm trying to count. 1, 2.
I would say next to her wife in mid.
Okay, cool. Next to who?
Her wife.
Is that like a real life thing?
Yeah, they're really that's a real life fight.
All right, I'm not getting myself in trouble.
I can pause it. I can pause the recording.
That was a harder thought that I need to have on fucking Friday afternoon. Congratulations to them. Yeah, sure. Kiara and Diamante.
Kip Sabian is next up.
Can't stop thinking about that.
Kip Sabian, not used much in any memorable angles. I think he had an international title match with Orange Cassidy and feuded with him for a little bit early in the year, but not much else.
He had the whole bag gimmick. I thought that was going somewhere.
Wasn't at the end of last year?
Oh my God, was it?
Yeah.
All right, well, you're not renewed, sir. Sorry. I thought that was this year.
Sorry. Oh boy. This is another controversial one, ladies and gentlemen.
No, it's not.
Commander is Commander, who has been signed with AEW this year. He's been used very frequently, matches on Dynamite, Rampage, and Collision, as well as being used in Ring of Honor. More recently, been teaming up with Penta as the Lucha Cousins, as I coined them here. Had a great matchup with the Young Bucks. Been at a killer matchup, apparently, in the Trios matchup that's going to air on the December 15th edition of Rampage. It's had good matches with Jay White and the like. So, Commander, not a lot of mainline angles or memorable angles or feuds, but some good to great matches.
Sure, he can be mid.
I'm glad. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
I mean, yes.
Put him next to his fellow luchador.
Why does he could be ahead of Bandito?
Okay,
he wasn't hurt.
That's true. Bare minimum. Konosuke Takeshita. This might be the saddest one.
When was that Omega match? When was the first Omega match?
That was in September.
September? Was that recently? Oh my God.
That was September 2nd or September 3rd.
Fucking heinous.
Konosuke Takeshita started off the year with a great matchup with American Dragon Bryan Danielson. And then from that match, he kind of was used very consistently into the whole BCC and Elite rivalry. He had a great matchup with MJF early in the year as well. He also he teamed up with Kenny Omega, and as far as BCC and Elite rivalry, BCC took him out, and then he came back at Double or Nothing, aligned with Don Callis and the Don Callis family, betraying Kenny Omega. From there, feuding with Kenny Omega he was a part of the BCC's team in Blood and Guts. Then he beat Kenny Omega, pinning him at All In a multi-man matchup, beat him in back-to-back weeks at All Out in a one-on-one matchup. But from there, just totally dropped the ball. He has been in a total of 2 singles matches since beating Kenny Omega in September. One against Bandito, where Bandito got hurt, and the match against Kyle Fletcher, where Kyle Fletcher became a member of the Don Callis family. He was a part of the Like a Dragon Street fight, where the Golden Jets, Ibushi, and White won. But man, talk about dropping the ball after a big win.
Fucking heinous. I can't believe you beat Kenny Omega twice, and you are in the mid card. That is fucking heinous. Unforgivable, really.
Where does he go?
Definitely behind Juice. Is he ahead of everybody else? I guess. It's just sad. It's sad to think about. He should be main event minimum.
He should be main event minimum. 100%. 100%. All right. So now I'm going to have an argument for someone to put in a main event for a Statlander in 2023.
I gotta hear this one. All right.
Comes back from injury in May at Double or Nothing. The big moment, beating Jade Cargill, ending her undefeated streak 60-0, becoming the 1-60-0 at Double or Nothing in mere seconds. Started defending the TBS championship like she was Orange Cassidy as international champion, going through a lot of the women's roster and giving a lot of the women their best matches of the year, whether it was someone like an Emi Sakura, whether it was someone like a Ruby Soho at All Out. Then her good to great matches with Julia Hart, whether it was one-on-one or in the triple threat at Full Gear, and the great week that she had in September, where she had the main event of Rampage, scoring a second win over Jade Cargill, and then doing the mere impossible, beating Britt Baker in Pittsburgh on an episode of Collision. Like, when it comes to the women's roster, I think that Chris Statlander has as good of an argument as anyone not named Julia Hart or Timeless Toni Storm.
Can you scroll up so I can see the rest of this main event scene? I already have my counter to this argument. As great as Chris Statlander's year has been, she didn't have a beat fucking Kenny Omega twice a year. So she's in the mid card. I'm fucking sorry. It ain't that good of a fucking year. It is what it is. It's gonna be hard for any woman to fucking scratch that main event if you're not Julia Hart or Toni Storm, as far as I'm concerned. But
top of the mid card?
No, behind Sketchta. Sorry. Beat Kenny Omega
Juice
twice.
Oh, behind Takeshita?
Yeah. You can put Takeshita ahead of Juice. You know, Takeshita and Statlander ahead of Juice.
All right. That's fair. That's fair.
This is a fucking shame. I have not liked the way Statlander's been used recently at all, by the way.
I mean, she's been mostly used on Collision.
Right. Why? We're not done with that show yet? We haven't given up on this? It's over. It's over. You gave it a shot. You fucking chose Jack Perry.
Sometime next year. You know, they cared about Rampage after 6 months. It was after a year they stopped. So we got to wait till next year. Next summer, they'll stop caring.
Fair enough.
Kyle Fletcher, as part of Aussie Open. Once again, this is only AEW, so I can't include any of his New Japan accomplishments. They came into AEW and ROH. He was in the Reach for the Sky ladder match early in the year. They had a great matchup with the Young Bucks on an episode of Rampage early in the year, and then they officially signed with AEW in the summer, where they won the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships, losing the titles at Wembley Stadium on the kickoff show against MJF and Adam Cole. Better than you, baby. And then after Mark Davis suffers another injury that takes him out of action, Kyle Fletcher starts having some really great matches on TV, whether it was against Bryan Danielson, Kenny Omega, Konosuke Takeshita. That match with Takeshita leads to him joining the Don Callis family, where he has been kind of the protege of Don Callis since then. What do you think about Kyle Fletcher in 2023?
He's a very good wrestler who's 24 years
24.
Old. Yeah, just not really impressive. I mean, it's impressive, but not fucking Nick Wayne impressive. He's a good wrestler. Okay, so what? Mid. You want to make an argument for mid card? I'm willing to hear it. I am curious.
I mean, to win down the year, I would have said that that's like bottom of mid card, but I can do if you want to do top of mid, that's fine.
I'm gonna give him some props for his Sky Blue Conquest. That's outside the ring. That's backstage.
That's true. That's true. In between Team TNA, it's fine.
Sure. Oh, he's got a very punchable face.
Kyle O'Reilly, unfortunately, has been injured, so nigga, you always hurt.
I do hope he comes back.
Yeah.
Well, I do think
I would love for him to be a part of this devil angle, since all his friends are involved in it. So.
As long as he's not the leader, sure.
Yeah, as long as he's one of the henchmen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lance Archer. He's been mostly in New Japan. I've seen him more in New Japan than AEW this year.
Yeah, and he came back for a little bit to get his fucking 7th push in AEW that they give up on after a month. I don't know why. I don't know why they started. I don't know why they ended. It's just
mid.
Sure. I'm not gonna argue with you.
Lee Moriarty, another guy that kind of, man, like Dude,
BCC is right
you
there.
mentioned him. You mentioned him in the original BCC angle. Everybody you mentioned in the original BCC angle has been involved in it at one point or another, except for him.
I wonder why that is. I'm sorry. I'm not calling Tony kind of racist. I'm just saying he doesn't favor black people. That's all. Yeah, he's sorry.
That's
sir.
fucking bullshit.
I'm waiting to hear this argument. Our tier list gets lighter and lighter the closer we go to the top. Sure.
I think Lee is in mid.
Okay. I don't watch enough ROH to know.
Layla Gray, I mean, I haven't seen her being used, so I don't think her contract's being renewed.
She's fine as hell from here.
She is.
Tiny ass avatar. She's fine as hell from here.
You don't remember Layla Gray?
I remember her, yes. I do.
Okay.
Of course I do.
Layla Hirsch, who's been mostly used on Ring of Honor television. She's had this whole angle where Maria has been trying to recruit her to manage her. She's also had opportunities against Athena, really hard-hitting matchup against Athena earlier this year for the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship, and has been steadily picking up wins and only has that one loss against Athena this year since returning from injury.
Where are you putting her? Mid card?
Yeah, I think like top of mid, near the top. We're the rest of our Ring of Honor crew up here. Yeah, we'll put her in this Ring of Honor crew here. Seems about right. Oh, we got to put Kira with her wifey. Sorry. Next we have Luchasaurus, aka Kill Switch.
Goddamn right.
Who won the TNT Championship in 2023, his first singles title, beating Wardlow, although he never touched the title because he was been involved with Christian Cage. He was, involved in Christian Cage feud with Jungle Boy earlier in the year, his rivalry with Darby Allin, beating Darby Allin at All Out before trying to help Christian get the win at Wrestle Dream and teaming with Christian and Nick Wayne against Darby Allin, Adam Copeland, and Sting at Full Gear. He was a part of that compelling segment on Dynamite, the re-Christianing, where Christian named him Kill Switch instead of Luchasaurus. Where do you put the former Luchasaurus?
To me, this has done what I always think you should do: maximize his strengths and minimize his weaknesses. I think it's maximize his talents as well. He would be in the mid card somewhere.
Yeah,
I would argue for him to be released a couple years ago.
Where do we put him?
Oy, that's a good question.
I think maybe with the other big men here.
Ooh, I like patterns and shit. Sure.
I think ahead. He deserves to be ahead of these two.
Cajun, yeah.
Next we got Luther, who is now a butler, which, I mean, Timeless Tony needs a butler. I'm just saying. Can't renew his contract. Yeah, we can't release him. Bottom of mid, maybe. Like,
sure.
You see, you took Jeff's bottom spot at the mid. See, look at that.
He keeps his job the same way he keeps his job in real life. That's weird. He's friends with the star. Ta-da.
Madison Rayne, who works mostly backstage now.
Oh, she's not wrestling on camera? No. Great.
Not really.
Not renewed.
If they don't wrestle, not renewed.
Not renewed. Sorry.
Malachi Black, we've talked a lot about House of Black Sheer, and he hasn't done much singles wise, so we don't need to talk about it again. Where does Malachi Black rank? We have Buddy in mid card, we got Brody in main event.
Well, he's certainly not had Brody's fucking year, so he's in the mid card, ahead of Buddy somewhere, simply because he's the leader of the fucking group.
There we go. Ahead of Buddy.
That's a fucking shame. Is that worse than Takeshita? Nah, because Takeshita's year been fucking fantastic. So
yeah, Takeshita's year would have been fantastic if they followed up after the big thing they did.
Fucking egregious.
Marina Shafir, who's been being mostly used in Ring of Honor television. She recently had that showcase matchup, teaming up with Ronda Rousey to beat Athena and Billy Starks, but not too much spots on AEW TV. Mid.
Okay.
Yeah. Mid. No, you're not below Luther.
Really?
And here we go. So we're gonna have fun talking about 2023 with Mark Briscoe, who started off the year, of course, with the tragic passing of Jay Briscoe. He had that incredible matchup on Dynamite, the tribute to Jay Briscoe against Jay Lethal in January. And then from there, he got involved in the whole angle with Team TNA versus FTR ahead of Double or Nothing. He unfortunately he came up short against Samoa Joe at Supercard of Honor when he should have won. Then he gets injured in the mid part of the summer, and he was out for a couple of months before returning and really kind of reopening a bunch of people's eyes with his performance in the Continental Classic with some fantastic matches against the likes of Swerve Strickland and Jon Moxley. What do you have, Mark Briscoe?
Was in the mid card.
Yeah, I think if not for the injury, I may have made a main event argument.
Oh,
I love him that much. I love Mark that much.
He's a very talented man.
I think he belongs next to Juice.
For the same reasons, ironically. Yeah, I like that. He's so authentic in a very dramatized way.
Very much so. Next is Mark Davis, who was hurt for most of the year. So I don't know if we're gonna put him next to Kyle. Nick is always hurt. That's true. Smart Mark Sterling.
I like Smart Mark.
I like Smart Mark. That's why I want to put him in mid next to Luther.
Yeah, he serves the same purpose essentially.
Yeah,
it's a nice piece to a puzzle.
Mark Quinn. Nick is always hurt. Matt Hardy next to Jeff.
Sure, I'd make an argument to get rid of him. I'm sure.
Yeah, I know you would. That's what I'm trying to save. Trying to save his job at least. Matt Jackson.
Same fucking argument I made for Matt Hardy.
Young Bucks started off the year with the great matchup with the Elite with Kenny Omega against Death Triangle in Game 7. From there, they held the Trios Championships until they had that excellent Trios matchup with the House of Black at Revolution. From there, they were involved in the BCC rivalry, which led to the great Anarchy in the Arena matchup at Double or Nothing, as well as the Blood and Guts matchup. They were also involved in that awesome 10-man tag at Forbidden Door in between that as well. Then from there, they went into their rivalry with FTR, which led to that excellent matchup at All In Wembley Stadium, where they came up short. And then from there, they kind of had the drop-off in the year. That's where the drop-off came for them, where they stopped doing a whole lot of stuff because plans got changed and whatnot. They wound up facing the Golden Jets at Full Gear in a very good matchup, losing their number one contendership that they won at Wrestle Dream, but not the best year for the Young Bucks.
I was trying to be as unbiased as I possibly could as I listened. You're kind of making a main event argument there,
but I think they bottomed out at like bottom of mid card.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. Has Nick had many singles matches this year?
I'm definitely already, spoiler alert, I'm definitely putting Nick ahead of Matt in the mid card because he had the fourth anniversary Dynamite with Phoenix when they ran that back.
Right.
And then he had the great trios matchup, the three-way matchup the week before, because that was for the international title, where he beat Claudio and Brian Cage the week before that too.
Right, and the four-way with Matt Jackson's around there, right?
Yes.
That match lost 400,000 viewers, by the way. So yeah, Nick obviously had a Matt. Obviously.
Where is Nick? Oh, okay, he's right here.
Right here. You can feel the douchebaggery from here. I love Nick because he feels like an actual douchebag.
I feel like Nick deserves to be on a whole nother row away from his brother. Like, yes, that much.
Just look at their faces here. Look at these two faces. Look at Matt pretending to be a douche, and look at Nick as an actual douche.
So where do you put Nick? Where would you put Nick?
Behind Luchasaurus.
That's fair.
Kill Switch. I apologize. Don't want to dead name anybody. I apologize.
You don't kneel for anyone. You don't use the wrong name for anyone. Daddy Magic. Let me get the faith. A little bit of the faith.
Oh.
Most New York Canadian ever.
I'm mad that he's the voice of reason for fucking Daniel Garcia somehow to not be a sports entertainer and don't stop that stupid dance. That makes sense. He's mid. Sorry.
Seems legit. Next we got Matt Sydal, mid.
We still want to see him Punk's matches. Should be released, but sure, he'll be mid. I mean, I can't blame you for that. That's Punk's call. Fucking weirdo. Fuck you wrestling Matt Sydal for.
Matt Taven of the Kingdom. Of course, the Kingdom were mostly used on Ring of Honor throughout the year, but finally found a role in AEW as part of the Next Strong crew with Roderick Strong. And they have chosen the giraffe as their group mascot because they are the next strongest animal of the animal kingdom.
Now they say like men who are like not blessed, we'll say, overcompensate with like big cars and stuff. I love how the Kingdom overcompensates for not having any personality with the most ridiculous shit maybe fucking ever. A giraffe. All right. What has he done besides the Next Strong stuff? I keep him mid for me.
That's fair. High mid for me. Okay. Because the Next Strong stuff is entertaining.
Is it?
Yeah.
The fucking past the 25th time you saw it?
Yep. Max Caster of the Acclaimed. Talked about the Acclaim earlier with Daddy Ass. Where do we rank him higher than Daddy Ass? I think I think that they deserve to be in the mid card, the Acclaimed themselves, away from Daddy Ass.
Sure. Even though we're gonna count skill set, his raps have fallen off horrendously. They were never great to begin with, but yeah.
Where's Anthony Bowen? Why is Anthony Bowen so low, or is he not even on this list? How do you have Max Caster and Daddy Ass, but no Anthony Bowens? That's the weirdest fucking tier list ever. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we'll see. We'll see if we find Anthony Bowen somewhere in this maze. Mercedes Martinez right next to Diamante and our wifey.
Yeah, looks good.
Michael Nakazawa, who works backstage.
Right away. I released all the Young Bucks friends, and I get Matt Jackson to quit.
Matt Taven next to, Mike Bennett next to Matt Taven.
Yes, sir.
Miro started off the year not on TV, made his return for Collision, where he got into the whole program with Powerhouse Hobbs. They had that great meat-based matchup at All Out, which led to the debut of CJ Perry. And CJ Perry, basically, he's been in the angle with her where he's been trying to make her go back home and be a wife while she wants to be a manager.
No Andrade on this list either, by the way.
It's crazy. Crazy the people they're missing here.
I think Miro's got to be mid card off GP.
Yeah.
When I say mid, I'm not mad at that either.
Mid card, I think, is fair. With the other big men, maybe?
Yeah, behind Luchasaurus. Oh, wait. You split our big men up?
Yeah, we put Nick Jackson in there.
Right.
I think we put Nick with the other good brother. Put him next to them, and so we still have our big man row here. Love it. And here we are. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. You've been waiting for him. Maxwell Jacob Freeman, MJF. Started off the year AEW World Champion in a rivalry with Bryan Danielson. Had a great match on Dynamite against Konosuke Takeshita before defeating Bryan in one of the greatest, if not the greatest, Iron Man match in wrestling history at Revolution 2023. From there, he kickstarted the rivalry with the Four Pillars, beating them in the Four Pillars matchup at Double or Nothing. Another fantastic matchup, which our people are calling the best four-way in AEW history. Then he beat Hiroshi Tanahashi rivalry at Forbidden Door. Meanwhile, he was kickstarting a rivalry with Adam Cole, which would become a defining rivalry for him throughout the year. That program leading into All In, where the two former assholes became best friends with Better Than You, Baby, with the great hit segments every single week on Dynamite, leading to their matchup in the main event of All In, which was great, with MJF pulling out the victory. MJF then kickstarted a rivalry with Samoa Joe, which led to him defeating Joe at Grand Slam. And then from there, kickstarted a rivalry with Switchblade Jay White as Adam Cole was injured. And then he started feuding with White, who stole his championship, all before MJF beat Jay White at Full Gear. And he has been dealing with the devil and the devil's henchmen all around him, heel or babyface. He's been the most important character in All Elite Wrestling. Where do you have MJF?
Top. Tibby is top. As top as you can get. Pause. I must say his face run has not been for me even a little bit. And I saw some complaints about his face run as well, but let's compare him to his heel run. His face run's been great, kind of without comparison. He's great. No, he's got to be ahead of Christian. Love you, Christian. Yes. My favorite character on the AEW television, but come on. Not get crazy.
That's fair. Good tier list so far here. Then we got Nick Camarado. Do you even still work here?
I love Nick Camarado. He had a great look. He's really strong. QTV is a killer. Or QT Marshall rather is a killer.
Factory. There's the QTV. Like he's had 2 Dead on Arrival fucking shits. Oh. It's crazy. There was someone else I saw here that I was like, you don't even work here anymore. Parker Boudreaux. You don't work here. Yep, you don't work here no more. I'm trying to see who else. Rebel is as good as not working here no more, but QTV, QT Marshall, you don't work here no more. Rebel just works backstage now, so
that's a goddamn shame. How great were her and Britt early?
So great. I'm just gonna get rid of all the people that don't have a job anymore. It's like Stu Grayson, do you even still work here? Like you came back, and then immediately they stopped using you. Serena Deeb is coming back. She's on her way back, so I can't put you in there.
She's hurt,
huh?
She's a nigga that's always hurt.
Niggas always hurt. We're going through. We're eliminating a lot of this list now. Paige Van Zandt, you don't even work here no more.
Jesus fucking Christ, that is egregious. How you get nothing out of that at all?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Oh, Andrade is here. He's right here at the bottom. And so is Alex Reynolds, which you said all of the Dark Order is in that. Davari, I think you just work backstage now, so that's Jimmy's rule. If you work backstage, you're in that pile. Aaron Solo, QTV, and QT Marshall rule, you're in there as well. Zach Clayton, go back to Jersey Shore. Trying to see who else here. Who else? And I think that's it. I think that is all the people that no longer work here anymore. Oh, Bunny no longer works here anymore.
All right. We found Anthony Bowens, by the way.
Where? Oh, he is. Where is he? At the bottom too?
He's next to Anna Jay, I think.
Okay, we'll get to him. All right, so we empty out a lot of this bottom tier here. That was good. Now we got the Prodigy. Nick Wayne debuted in the company in the summer alongside Darby Allin. He was involved in the angle with Mogul Embassy where they jumped him and bloodied him at his own home, which led to him kind of growing resentment even more for Darby Allin and eventually turning on him at Wrestle Dream, aligning with Christian Cage, joining the Patriarchy, where he has become the favorite son of the Father of the Year, Nick Wayne.
There's a mid argument to be made here. I'm gonna go with mid card, only because you're involved with the best act in the business.
Yeah, I think mid card is fair. We'll put him bottom here. Let's go here. Nyla Rose. Oh man, Nyla Rose, man. Just fucking entertainment, but doesn't get an opportunity.
Was that for you with Jade this year?
No.
Oh, damn. You're mid. Sorry.
Unfortunately. So unfortunate. She deserves better. She deserves better.
I'm never sure where I put her, but I put her with somebody. She'd be hilarious.
I said she should have been the China to Bullet Club Gold.
I strangely think that might work.
That would work. Then next we got another person who I think is at the top 3 tiers, Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy started off the year AEW International Champion and became the glue for Dynamite throughout this year. He had memorable, opportunities to kind of have a showcase, whether it was at Double or Nothing with the Battle Royal, where he had that great final segment with Swerve Strickland, had great matches on Dynamite against Jay Lethal. Swerve Strickland leveled up the AEW All-Atlantic Championship into the AEW International Championship this year and really elevated the title to become the 1B championship, the second-tier championship in AEW, and then felt worthy of being in the main event at All Out. Had picked up the big win at All In the Stadium Stampede, then had that spectacular performance against Jon Moxley at All Out in the main event in Chicago, coming up just short before regaining the International Championship about a month and a half later from Rey Fenix, and then eventually beating Jon Moxley at Full Gear for the International Championship. I will not lie, his booking since All Out has been very wonky to bad. Wonky is at best. Wonky is the best example, is the best description of his booking since then, but I'm sorry, like the first 8 months to 9 months of this year, this is like future Hall of Fame level, but because of the last 3 months, I think it levels out to main event.
I am in agreement. I think the work he's put in the first 8 months has got to count for something. Main event. Who was in the main event?
Let's see who we're gonna put Orange Cassidy here with. Gotta go each fucking tier because we have so many people here. So main event, we got Darby, Claudio, Brody, Athena, Julia, Eddie, Switchblade, and Omega.
Okay, well, he's definitely not ahead of Omega or Jay White. The question would be, where is he here? Holy.
I think he's
putting behind Eddie.
I think he's ahead.
Oh, okay. I'm mad at that.
Seems correct. That seems legit. I think there's an argument to put him ahead of Jay, but
really,
yeah.
His first 4 months are better than Orange Cassidy's last 4 months.
That's you can make that argument too. You can make that, both things can be right. You got next Ortiz, which is another one of a lack of opportunities. He did have the mini feud with Santana once Santana come back after they made the return ahead of All In. He was a part of that crazy Stadium Stampede match in Wembley Stadium at All In, but just a lack of opportunities outside of those two examples.
It's so weird. I think he's mid. That fucking Santana feud was really good, I thought. But
it was really good.
That's weird. You do good work and you get punished for it. That's weird.
Yeah, it is. Next, we got someone who was literally just here for one match. Pac was in the Game 7 in January, the ladder match against the Elite, and we literally never did we ever see him again? Like, can someone tell me if I'm incorrect? Because I feel like I never saw him again after they dropped the Trios Championship.
Well, then he's, where he is. I think it's kind of blasphemous to put him fucking ahead of that because he's certainly not a mid.
We gotta make another change to this bottom tier.
Okay, always hurt.
Niggas always hurt and gone.
Absolutely.
Niggas always hurt and gone. That seems legit. Paul White, who's been mostly working commentary behind the scenes, but he did have the Like a Dragon Street fight just for that slam. He gets mid. He gets up to mid just for that slam.
Sure. Sacrifice yourself into a mid. That's weird. Good.
Where do you think he deserves to be? Contract not renewed?
Niggas always. I don't want to be rude. He's kind of like hurt is his fucking thing now. Like he's just his existence. He's not even hurt. It's just the new status quo.
He's just not there. Penelope Ford, nigga's always gone.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Not used. Someone who always is used. Penta El Zero Mero. Death Triangle. Multi-man matches on Dynamite, great matches with Orange Cassidy, Switchblade Jay White, a multitude. Man, he always can deliver a good to great matchup on TV. It seems Penta has always been kind of like that Mr. Reliable for AEW.
Yes, if we can cut down the Canadian Destroyers, he'd be a favorite of mine. Mid card, I would say.
I would say top of mid card.
Sounds like you want to say main event for fucking.
No, I didn't say that. I never said that. You always are trying to put words in my fucking mouth. It sounds like you're. I literally said like, top of mid card.
Sounds like top of the mid card. That's right. It looks right.
We got next Dalton Castle, who I think should be another candidate for too entertaining to hate.
I was about to say, yeah. I don't know where the last guy we had there. Next to Jeff Jarrett, I suppose.
Mid.
But he's not as used on AEW, is he?
Not too much. No, more like Ring of Honor, but yeah. Yeah, next to Jarrett and mid. Next we got Powerhouse Hobbs. He's had a weird year. Like they keep using him in these groups that don't really work. Well, Team Taz worked, but this year he wins the TNT Championship and aligns with QT Marshall as part of QTV for a couple of months here. Holds on to the TNT Championship for about a month and a half before dropping it to Wardlow. Then he was a part of the QTV gang until he started his feud with Miro. Then he has that great match with Miro at All Out, and they put him in the Don Callis family, where he gets to look dominant against Chris Jericho, and Kenny Omega gets that big slam on Paul White. Looks like the whole star of the Like a Dragon street fight, which they've been using ever since to kind of make him feel like even a bigger monster. So they got a lot out of that as far as his build and presentation was. So where do you think Powerhouse Hobbs lands?
Towards the top of the mid card for me, maybe behind Takesh stuff. I had to guess. Which, all things considered, considering the way he could be used and fucking dummies used him before, that's a win.
Yeah,
I'm gonna call that a fucking win.
So
that's good. Behind Penta, because Penta's consistent.
Yeah. Next up, we got Preston Vance of LFI. LFI just came back. So, what do you think?
When they come back? September? October?
October.
He's mid. Sorry, sir.
Yeah. No, that seems right. Red Velvet, another one that just recently came back and then got injured again.
Oh, shit. Oh, sorry. Very tragic.
Sorry. He's had a really great year when he's been here too, but Ray Phoenix, I think he's niggas always hurt.
Yes. He always fucking hurt.
He would definitely be mid card. Like if we're just doing on just his 2023, but he's either gone or hurt with the visa issue thing.
Oh, right. Fucking shame.
We'll put him at the top since you said the top is like the person closest to getting out. Ricky Starks, very interesting year. Started off the year in the rivalry with Chris Jericho, beats Jericho at Revolution. From there, he kickstarts the rivalry with Juice Robinson, which parlays into his rivalry with Jay White. Loses to Jay White in one-on-one competition. The start of Collision starts his whole heel turn, where he eventually turns heel and wins the Owen Hart Cup by cheating against CM Punk. That rivalry turns into him attacking Ricky the Dragon Steamboat at the behest of Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, according to him. Then he, with Punk now fired. After that, he gets his first ever 5-star matchup against Bryan Danielson in the strap match at All Out. Another great matchup in a Texas Death Match on Collision against Bryan Danielson. And then him and Big Bill defeat FTR to become AEW World Tag Team Champions. And they're going into the last pay-per-view of the year as the champions against Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho. So where do you think Ricky Starks belongs? I think that is kind of like a low main event campaign.
I was gonna say it's a main event argument. I'm gonna try to remove that segment from my fucking head. Just look at this year. I think the Punk stuff is like a really big deal. Like Punk's almost like his other guy.
Yeah,
I want to say he's bottom of the main event.
So below Darby.
Darby's got a fucking pay-per-view main event.
That is true. I think we've done a really good job with these top 3.
Great. Tiers. It looks how tiers should look.
Yeah, done a really good job. All right, next up we got Riho.
You're always gone. Sorry, man.
Nigga's always gone. Oh my god. Roderick fucking Strong. Next Strong. This is probably one of the biggest surprises of the year because I think there's been 3 really breakout characters in 2023. Christian Cage as Father of the Year, which I mean, if you've been a fan of Christian, like you were probably surprised that it's this late in his career that he's arguably doing the best work of his career, but it's not a big like, oh wow, Christian Cage is a great character worker. No, you knew that already. Timeless Toni Storm. Toni Storm had always been talented. The only thing she really hadn't hit was a character. So this kind of was like a formation. But you want to talk about a character that is just so far away from a person's career. It is Roderick Strong as Next Strong Roddy, who is part Freddy from a pup named Scooby-Doo, meets the biggest nerd you've ever met, and just the work he's done with MJF and Adam Cole outside of the ring. But he's also had great matches like the recently on Winter is Coming with Hangman Adam Page, with Darby Allin on Collision, Samoa Joe a couple of times this year. Just a great year for Roddy, and he came in April, at the end of April, to AEW. And I remember you being like so apathetic to his arrival.
Great word. Fucking yes. So what? Another good worker in AEW. We have quite a few of those. But he's been fantastic strong. He's been really entertaining. Shockingly so for Roderick Strong. I'm not sure how old he is. I know he's older than fucking Toni Storm is. So to have it this late in his career is jarring to me. I'm gonna say mid-card. Maybe even at the top.
Yeah, I think he belongs in the or entertainment. I would even put him above like Powerhouse Hobbs and Penta.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, that seems about right. Seems about right spot for him. Let's go to next. We got Ruby Soho. Turned heel at Revolution, joining up with the Outcasts, joining that whole angle and turning heel. She's had pay-per-view matches, whether against Chris Statlander at All Out or the aforementioned Revolution match where she went against Jamie Hayter and Saraya for the Women's World Championship. But she's kind of been the sidekick to either Saraya or Toni Storm throughout the Outcast angle. And now she's in this whole love triangle rectangle storyline with Cool Hand Ange and Daddy Magic. So where do you have Ruby Soho?
Let's take a look at the mid and the mid card. That's probably the easiest way to fucking do it. Because she's always featured, shockingly so.
Yeah. I think she's like bottom mid card, top of mid.
Yeah. I mean, fucking, she's the head of Dalton Castle. Sorry. Yeah, right behind Nick Wayne looks right to me.
Yeah. Let's put her here for now, and then here, and then finally here. All right. Next up, we got Roosh. Roosh started off the year hot with that one of the best TV matches in all of wrestling that bloodbath against Bryan Danielson on Dynamite. Then took some time off with LFI. He had a baby, and
Tony Scott showed up to his fucking thing, and that's how great Tony Khan is. Fucking Roosh, stop it. You signed because of money.
Came and touched the baby. Roosh, and then Roosh has been delivering ever since he's been in the Continental Classic. He was a part of that insane ladder match, 4-way ladder match at Full Gear. Where do you think Roosh belongs?
Roosh is in the mid card. He's always featured, at least this year he's been. Only question is where.
I think he's like top. I think I would put him right next to the fellow Mexican, Penta.
Okay.
Group them all together.
There's one thing Mexico's had a lot of. It's Mexicans. You've never seen Ozark. It's one of my favorite lines ever.
One thing those Mexico has is Mexican. Sammy Guevara. Yikes.
This year's been. When did he leave?
He left in October when Ty had her baby. He was a part of the 4 Pillars angle, was a part of that angle with Jericho, which led to their breakup at Grand Slam. He had tried to help Jericho at All In his matchup with Will Ospreay. He mid card.
You said mid?
Mid or mid card?
Fuck. I really want to put him in mid. I don't like him. I think he's probably mid card.
He's higher than Jack Perry. Jack Perry failed that jail.
Oh, Jack Perry in mid?
Jack Perry's in mid.
Where? Oh,
he's right there.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Right behind him. Then. Great. I don't need much excuse. Sure, right there.
They deserve to be in mid card. They deserve to be bottom of.
Yeah, probably at the bottom of the fucking mid card. They do stick out like a sore fucking thumb.
like I'm like looking at the people on either side of them. I was like, all right, we wildin'.
Fine.
And once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just clicking on this video or you like scrolled and fast forward through it and are going too far to see where we ranked everybody, this is just on 2023. This is not our opinions on the people in general. A lot of people in mid, I like. So I can't, and a lot of people that Jimmy put in contract not renewed, or niggas always gone, or niggas hurt, that I even put, are people that I really like, but I have to be real. That's what they were in 2023.
Pack is great. Who else? Layla Hirsch is fine as shit. Ray
Phoenix is awesome.
Oh, Ray Phoenix. Yeah, listen, needs to be fucking mid-card guys, but it's 2023. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, Ray Phoenix had the great match with Claudia, great matches with Moxley this year. He was involved in the Stadium Stampede and stuff, but in between all of those things, he was gone.
A lot
of times he was gone. That's like Death Triangle, except for Penta, and that's why Penta's always used and much higher than the rest of Death Triangle.
Always.
Another guy. I feel like we've had a lot of guys we've said this about, but like a career year or career revitalization this year from Samoa Joe, who started off the year Ring of Honor World Television Champion, had a great matchup with Mark Briscoe as Supercard of Honor, but his year really picked up and went another level in the fall when he kickstarted the rivalry with MJF, started doing some of his best promo work. Before that, in the summer, he had the rivalry with CM Punk on Collision, where they had the big 6-man tag on the first episode, as well as their matchup in the Owen Hart Cup, and then their fantastic opener to All In Wembley Stadium. His matchup with MJF was excellent at Grand Slam in New York City. I was there for that one. And now he's been doing great work with MJF as well as with Hangman Adam Page in the main event storyline on the way to World's End. What do you think? And Samoa Joe started off the year with that great rivalry with Darby Allin for the TNT Championship and dropped the title to Wardlow as well. So, yeah, I think Joe main event or even higher.
Let's say I was gonna say main event before you started. I was reminded of some of the earlier stuff.
Yeah, I think the earlier stuff bumps him up to future Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I think so. I'm in agreement. What a fucking year Joe's at.
And it kind of like happened out of nowhere.
Yeah, like, he was never around, and then he was like the star of the show.
That's an elite group in that top, those top two tiers.
Man, that looks good.
Top of the top. We got next Santana. Santana, similar case to Ortiz. I kind of just want to just put him with Ortiz.
Gone. Oh, sure.
Or gone. Or you say gone? Nigga always gone. It's true. Or hurt. He was hurt. He was hurt most of the year. Yeah, he was hurt. He was hurt most of the year. So let's put him higher than that. Who are we putting at the bottom of contract not renewed? Niggas always hurt.
Captain Dean is here. Captain Stick Up for Tony Khan is here. Captain Ruckus, he's here. He can be right there. Who else is fucking here? Thunder Rose is here.
You were gone. Yeah, you were gone this year. Yeah, you were gone. Yeah, she goes right there with Bray.
I know you're in love with Thunder Rosa. Fair enough.
Yeah. And is there anyone else down here?
I hate to be rude. This Asian woman,
Yuka Sakazaki. Yeah, she was gone most of the year.
Abaddon
was gone most of the year until Halloween season. And I believe that is most of the people.
When did Adam Cole get hurt?
In September.
Okay, that's enough time. He can stay.
Yeah. Saraya is next. Started off the year in the Outcast angle. From the Outcast angle, pretty much that was the whole year. And then she won the AEW Women's World Championship at All In. Lost it a month later to Hikaru Shida. Had the matchup with Toni Storm in between that. Mid.
Oh, but wait a minute. Let's not forget the fantastic 10 seconds of a Doja Cat video.
I mean, that might be the bottom of mid card just for that.
Get a bump, in my opinion.
Bottom of mid card. For the best part of the Doja Cat video, you get bottom of the mid card.
I don't know why I love that video so much. I've never looked at her in that way before.
You're a pervert. That's why.
I've never looked at her in that way before. And it was immediate. It was like, ooh, never
mind. Next we got Satam Singh, Team TNA stuff.
Yeah, sorry, sir.
Where do you put him?
Sorry. We keep putting people. Put people always hurt about the niggas who shouldn't be renewed. Sorry.
Serpentico, sorry.
Yeah.
Luther left you behind. He left you behind. Left you without a job. Scorpio Sky, he was gone a lot.
Bye, brother. Spears too.
Yeah, you were gone a lot. Damn, this fucking. Ever since we expanded, we gotta probably make a new tier because, like,
not renew it and hurt.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna add one. We're gonna add one above and just put the niggas always gone. We gotta separate niggas always gone from because it's getting crazy down here, y'all.
Very crowded.
It's getting very crowded down here because we grouped two things in one. So let's put Thunder Rosa, Phoenix. Would you say Penta gone?
No, I meant Phoenix.
Oh, okay. Niggas always gone.
O'Reilly's in there.
O'Reilly, where's O'Reilly?
At the top 4.
Oh, okay. Yeah, O'Reilly should be at the top of this. Dante Martin. That I feel much better now that we don't have Dante Martin. Not renewed. Jesus Christ.
Who else? I would take Deeb out.
Deeb, where do we still have her down here, or is she?
No, she's in there.
Right there. I see her now.
Yeah. Riho.
Yeah. She's always
Santana.
Gone. Red Velvet, Santana. Sean Spears.
Scorpio.
Scorpio. Yep.
You want to release Scorpio? I'm not gonna stab you to death.
Abaddon. Because we like her
again.
when she's around, but she's never here. Yuka, I like when she's around, but she's never here.
I'll let you. You like Danhausen?
Thank you. I appreciate you for that. That was a nice review. Stu Grayson, because you stopped being in the Dark Order. You're just not around. I feel like John Silva. Come on.
I feel like not Silver. You got in that Dark Order shit. The man's talented.
Just put him up to mid, bottom of mid.
All right.
He needs to be separate from the rest of the Dark Order. And I think everybody else here is either gone or released or shouldn't be here. I feel so bad when I'm saying stuff like
that. I mean, listen, we're not hurting anybody.
Another most improved candidate for the year, Sky Blue.
You gotta wait before we get started. You gotta have to fix the contract not renewed title card.
Oh,
it still says niggas always hurt.
There we go. See, it looks much neater now down here now. All right. Sky Blue, who's been very consistently used and been very consistently getting better and improving throughout the months in 2023. She's had good to great matches against good matches. Sorry, I don't want to piss off Jimmy. Good matches against Athena, against Toni Storm, against Ruby Soho. What do you think Sky Blue lands?
She's mid card. She's consistently used. I think she probably should be ahead of Ruby Soho.
Okay. That's fair. Yeah, right next to the other youngster and Nick Wayne.
They treat her like she's a fucking star. No offense.
They do. She's even got a character change already.
Yeah, and it wasn't just bad. It's like this weird thing they're trying to put some effort in. All right, fair enough.
Sanjay Dutt works mostly backstage, but he's also part of Team TNA.
But he's also the least interesting part of Team TNA. So
right next to Satam.
Yeah, sorry.
Sting!
This is complicated. Because he is Sting.
He is Sting. And he had that crazy match where he jumped and almost died.
This isn't like a Ric Flair situation where he's not Ric Flair anymore. This thing's still kind of Sting.
He's basically old man Batman. Like that's what he is. He turned into that.
So whoever Darby is, I think at the bottom of the main event.
I can't argue with you on that.
Yeah, behind Darby.
You gotta keep him right next to Darby because that's where he's always gonna be.
Yeah.
They can't be too far apart. Head of Ricky or no?
Yeah, I can't put him ahead of Ricky. I don't think I could just.
So we'll put Ricky ahead of Darby.
Yeah. And ahead of Claudio. Put Claudio at the bottom. No offense, sir.
That's fair. Then we'll put Ricky behind Sting.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Okay, there we go. That makes sense. I really like this top half. This top half is looking like this is very all elite. That is all elite. And even the mid card is very elite. Like you could make a solid like off of this.
Right. It's they've got a really good roster.
They do. Like this whole experiment is making me appreciate the roster that much more.
I was going to say Tony Khan's a decent general manager, but he just fucking signed everybody. Turns out some of them are really good. It's amazing how that works.
Next, we have someone that I wish we could put in future Hall of Famer, Stokely Hathaway.
Oh man,
because it was in fact this year that we got. One of the best comedy matches I've seen was Hook versus Stokely Hathaway. I don't care. He didn't have to do anything else this year. That alone, I will remember.
Even before that, where he was going to get the match, he's shaking in the corner. God damn. Him walking backstage after he lost, as everybody's just laughing at him. Oh, man. This is a difficult one. Wait, when did he go to ROH? When was that?
That had to be the summer.
Heinous decision that was, probably.
It was a heinous decision. I think he belongs in our entertainment with the two entertainers here.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I really wish I couldn't hire, quite frankly.
Yeah, I honestly wish we could. Like,
if he was in AEW the whole time, he would get like a Paul Heyman-esque spot. He's just too important to put this in the corner.
He is. Like, there's got to be a heel. Like, man, you could have put him with Powerhouse Hobbs.
Oh my God!
Imagine that.
That'd be perfect.
That would have been great. Oh my God, it would have been like Teddy Long and Rodney Mack.
A good version, upgraded version.
Oh boy, the top portion is about to get crowded because by far, I don't think there's going to be a debate. The breakout star of AEW 2023, Swerve Strickland. Very modest start to the year. He was still involved in the whole angle with Keith Lee. He had he first naturally limitless alongside Parker Boudreaux on the Rampage before Revolution, the first pay-per-view of the year. He was a part of the Battle Royal for the International Championship, the final two at Double or Nothing, which followed up with a great matchup for the International Championship against Orange Cassidy. But then he faced Darby Allin on an episode of Dynamite, and everybody was just thinking, oh man, you're running this match back already? This is strange. We did not know that was going to be the start of everything, really. Like, either it's his interaction with Orange at Double or Nothing, or him having a random match on Dynamite with Darby. But that starts everything of a trek up the card for Swerve Strickland, because the whole feud with Darby leads to the great scene with him and AR Fox invading Nick Wayne's house and bloodying him alongside Prince Nana. All the while, Prince Nana keeps doing this little dance while he comes to the ring with Swerve Strickland. And that was around the time of Double or Nothing, where he made the alliance with Mogul Embassy by attacking Darby Allin. Led to the Wembley Stadium with Sting, where Sting and Darby Allin put him in a coffin. And that changed Swerve Strickland forever, where he's had a little black under his eyes, and now he has targeted Hangman Adam Page and wants to take his spot to become the first ever African-American AEW World Champion in history. And it led to two of the best matches of the year for the company at Wrestle Dream, where he beats Hangman Adam Page in his hometown of Seattle, and then one of the best top three matches of the year for AEW, in my opinion, for 2023, with Hangman Adam Page in the Texas Death Match at Full Gear. And he's been killing it in the Continental Classic, where he feels, more and more people keep saying what I said to you following Full Gear, he feels like the Austin of AEW since then. What do you think? Where does Swerve belong?
When did the Hangman Page feud start? When did he come out and say he's going to be the first black champion?
September.
Ooh.
They're all out.
Okay, well, he's definitely in the top three. That part is easy.
Yeah. I think future Hall of Famer. If not, keep at all costs. He feels like a guy that you have to keep at all costs right now.
Right now, this is for 2020.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm saying right now. But I think that he's above everybody else in the main event. I think he's future Hall of Fame, and then he has an argument for keep at all costs. But definitely, he's at least future Hall of Fame for the right to spend money.
I agree. Future Hall of Fame. He feels right with those other three guys.
Is he above those three guys?
I might put him ahead of Moxley. I might put him ahead of Dragon. That feels blasphemous. Put him ahead of Dragon. But
it's close. It's close, man. He's close.
I'm not gonna put him ahead of Dragon. I can't do that.
Like Dragon's been a part of two of the top 5 matches for AEW this year. Hangman was in one, so I'll give that. And then as far as like was his last 4 months better than the entire 8 months that we got from Bryan Danielson and out Brian the Edge.
Yeah, great. Man, this year's been insane for Swerve. I thought Joe's year was great. Holy shit. From where he started to where he's at right now. Where if you took a poll,
than ever.
Yeah, I
hotter
think
than ever.
Be the guy to take out MJF.
Yeah, most definitely. Next we got Ty Mello, and unfortunately, nigga's always pregnant. You were gone most of the year. Sorry. Taya Valkyrie, she got picked up in April, had the rivalry with Jade Cargill, ahead of Double or Nothing, where she lost to Jade, and then she challenged Chris Statlander for the TBS championship after she wanted to add Double or Nothing, but was very rarely used after that. And now she's in Ring of Honor along with Johnny TV.
Mid. Hey, to be honest, ever since she showed up, I have been underwhelmed, for lack of a better word. Especially considering what you guys told me about her.
I mean, she has not been as good as she was during Impact ever since she left Impact back in like 2019 or 2020, I think. Next, we got Butcher and the Blade, who are still contracted, but they feel like nigga's always gone.
Yeah, that makes me very sad. Ever since the Blade shaved his head, she has not been working out.
Has not been good. And here we are, another one where we get to praise somebody, even though they got the wrong render here. We should have a black and white render. It is timeless. Toni Storm, who has had a remarkable year where she has evolved as a character. First, it was her a part of the Outcast, kind of playing the sidekick to Saraya in that whole angle and kind of being in the middle of her, Ruby Soho in that whole game. But she kind of came to the forefront when AEW started doing house shows, and they had to do multiple shows in a week, and literally every show they would book Toni Storm, whether it was house shows, Rampage, Dynamite. Toni Storm was out in the forefront, to the point that when Jamie Hayter goes down with the injury, Toni feels most confident in putting the title on Storm from the Outcast. So she wins the title, becomes the first ever 2-time AEW Women's World Champion, defended the title on house shows and Rampage and Dynamite before dropping the title to Hikaru Shida on the 200th episode of Dynamite. But that loss was really the gain of all us wrestling fans, because it sparked timeless Toni Storm, where she started doing backstage promos where she's acting like a 1930s starlet, and had created a whole new catchphrase of chin up, tits out, and watch for the shoe. And that led to some of the best character work of her entire career, some of the best presentation for the women in general, with the black and white vignettes and the portrait of a star vignettes with RJ City. She's brought other people into her act, like RJ City, like Luther, like Mariah May, and now she has once again become the 3-time AEW Women's World Champion, beating Hikaru Shida at Full Gear. Timeless Toni Storm. Where do you have her?
When AEW releases a documentary 20 years from now, or somebody releases the Rise and Fall of AEW 20 years from now, we got to talk about what Collision did for Jay White, for Samoa Joe, and for Toni Storm. She's definitely main event.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out where. Toni Storm, main event. She's been wrestling this well for years. All it took was a character. Who would have thought?
I think I would put her above Julia.
I mean, I think you kind of have to, considering her place on Dynamite, number one. And she's got the bigger belt. Yeah, that looks right to me.
I agree. Next up, we got, who is that? Tony Nese. You're in ROH. Niggas always gone in ROH. That's what I'm good. Niggas always hurt and gone / ROH. That's
but you got to put Athena down there.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, no, Tony Nese. Where do you put him?
I know why you want to do that. He's mid. Sorry. I know you like him. He's a talent. Another good hand, who I thought Roderick Strong was going to be when he got here. But, yeah, a good wrestler.
Seems about right. Yeah, seems about right. Trent Beretta?
Mid. Probably should be released. Sorry. We gave it a shot, and we fucked up several times. Not even your fault, but yeah,
Gave it a shot, but you fucked up several times.
Speaking of which,
Warlow, talk about fucking up several times. Warlow. So he started off the year. He was out for a little bit after Joe took him out at the end of 2022. He returned after Joe won the title back from Darby Allin. He beats Joe at Revolution. The next Dynamite, loses the title right immediately to Powerhouse Hobbs, wins the title back a month later from Powerhouse Hobbs, only to lose the title 2 months later to Luchasaurus. And then they took him off television again before eventually bringing him back. And now he started a whole angle where he's chasing MJF for the AEW World Championship.
Do we cop out and just say he's always gone? I kind of want to cop out.
He was going twice this year. I mean, but mid card.
Yeah, mid card.
I think bottom of mid card because he is least used.
I mean, he's with Sammy and them, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
I don't know where they are, but wherever they are.
Yeah, I think I would put him higher than Sammy and them. He won a title this year, a real title, not the fake one that Jack Perry did. Willie Yuta, the young boy of the Blackpool Combat Club, 3-time pure champion, lost the title earlier this year to Shibata at Supercard of Honor, but he eventually won the title back in November on an episode of Rampage. He's been involved in all the BCC angles, the rivalry with the Elite earlier this year, had a great matchup with Kenny Omega, pinned Kenny Omega at Double or Nothing in the Anarchy in the Arena matchup, but they never really followed up on that with more big wins to kind of build them up. And he's kind of been used as the fall guy for the BCC. Yeah. So I would say mid-card.
Same. Agreed. Shame he's not used more or used better, rather. Or just don't have him fucking do shit if you're not going to follow up on it. What's the point?
True. Where does he go, though?
Oh, that's a good question. Behind the House of Black, behind Hook. Ahead of Chris Jericho, that feels kind of blasphemous. But you know what? I don't think I can make an argument. Yeah, I mean, Yuta's always there. His work is always solid. He doesn't bring anybody else down.
That's true. Jericho does that. Willow Nightingale. Oh my God. We want to talk about second half fumble. Half fumble because she was on the rise the first half of the year, steadily putting in good work on Ring of Honor, AEW, even New Japan Pro Wrestling. Wins the New Japan Strong Women's World Championship from Mercedes Moné back at Resurgence in May. Holds the title for 2 months before dropping it to Julia in Japan at New Japan Pro Wrestling's Independence Day in AEW and Ring of Honor. She was picking up wins, beat Athena in the Owen Hart Cup, won the Owen Hart Cup by beating Ruby Soho in the finals. Followed that up with main eventing, first ever woman to main event a Ring of Honor pay-per-view at Death Before Dishonor in an incredible matchup against Athena. But ever since then, it's been a drop-off. She was involved in the Miss angle with Julia Hart, involved in that angle with the TBS Championship, but kind of cut loose before Full Gear, and the other 3 ladies who were involved in the angle got the triple threat, and she was kind of left out on the cold. So I feel like the first 6 months, this was looking like main event. And then the last 7 months, it's very mid. So it's mid-card.
Sure. Let's go with that. I'm too sad to think about this. This makes me more sad than any of the others because, first of all, look at her. Secondly, you had it. You had it. You fell ass backwards. Thanks. Mercedes gets hurt. All of a sudden, AEW was forced to make a star by accident. And then you fucking follow up when she wins the Owen Hart Cup. Oh, it's common sense. Good job. We're going to... fucking adults.
Fucking heinous. Where did she go?
Oh, yeah. I gotta be honest. That feels right.
At the bottom?
At the bottom. This is not a talent list. This is a. Wait, you know what?
Nah, I think she's higher than. I want to say Yuta. She won something this year.
Okay.
She won something this year. That's the only reason I'm putting her in there. We'll put Saraya. She won something too. We'll put Saraya with the rest of the ladies, former women's champions this year.
Okay.
That seems about right. And yeah, Sammy the bottom of mid card. Yeah, that seems about right to me. Action Andretti.
Head. Sorry, sir. You're lucky you're getting that. We already have several of you already. Dante and fucking Darius and
several light-skinned brothers. Adam Cole, baby, made his return to the AEW in January in Los Angeles. Made his in-ring return in March, defeating Daniel Garcia, kickstarting a rivalry with Chris Jericho. Had some good stuff in the build-up, but definitely had one of the worst matches of the year at Double or Nothing against Jericho in a lights-out matchup, but then immediately followed that by kickstarting a rivalry with MJF that really made Adam Cole once again feel like the main eventer he was when he first came into the company, because they had that time limit draw matchup, then they went toe-to-toe on the mic, they were then had formed their partnership in the Blind Eliminator tournament, and were the featured act of AEW every single week up until Wembley Stadium and All In that great matchup in the main event. They won the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles on that same show, defended them at All Out before Adam Cole would get injured at Grand Slam, taking him out of action for the rest of the year, but still involved on TV at various points, whether with Roderick Strong or MJF ever since then. What did you think about Adam Cole in 2023?
Bottom of the main event. Fell off at the end, but not really his fault. Nothing you can do about it. But you take it hurt. Sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
No, dude, that was a great assessment. Like, bottom of the main event. Like, I think he would have been higher if he would have just finished out the year.
Yeah. Is that right?
Seems about right to me.
Cool.
Yeah, just above Takeshita, because they didn't fucking follow up. Takeshita should be up with that the rest of the game. But I think I know someone who will be another Adam, Hangman Adam Page, and like this is the Swerve effect, honestly, because like he started off the year very high. Like, he started off the year in the Moxley feud and the great matches they had on Dynamite leading into the Classics Texas Death Match at Revolution. From there, he goes right into the Elite storyline with the reunion of the Elite and the great moment where he stands by the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega ahead of Anarchy in the Arena. That rivalry with the BCC, one of the best of the year for AEW, culminating with the Anarchy in the Arena at Double or Nothing and Blood and Guts on Dynamite in July. Then from there, he kind of fell off for a little bit, kind of went into a lull, wounded up in the over the budget battle royal at All Out. But that was really kind of the pessimist for everything that happened with Swerve, because Swerve's like, you're a former world champion. What the fuck are you doing in a charity battle royal? And that starts everything with them that clears out the year and really has brought Hangman back up to the main event level.
Okay, so he's a main eventer. The question is, how much higher is he than that, if at all? So we're not counting any backstage stuff?
No.
Okay, so we can't punish him for the CM Punk thing.
That was last year, sir. Even if we were judging on...
Consequences were this year. Okay, so my question is he with Omega and White? Or is he with Joe and Moxley?
I mean, if there's an argument for him to be with Joe and Moxley, there's an argument for Omega to get the bump.
Agreed. So I'm going to put him with Omega and White.
In between?
Yeah. That Swerve rivalry to me was like the hottest thing going for a while.
That's AEW's rivalry of the year.
Oh, yeah.
with relative ease, I would say. Andrade El Idolo, talk about 2 months of saving your year. Because I think that I would say the last 6 months since Collision came back, he's been on the money. He's been awesome since Collision came back. He was out most of the year with an injury, comes back at the start of Collision, kickstarts a rivalry with Buddy Matthews with 2 great matches on TV, has some good matches with Scorpio Sky and Bryan Danielson on Collision as well, before he's in the Continental Classic, where he's just been delivering on an even higher level with some excellent matches with Bryan Danielson, with Brody King. Where does Andrade land?
That's question. 6 months. I can't put you higher than the mid card. I don't think. Though, made a hell of a go at it. Maybe. Can you make an argument for the bottom of the main event? I'm not entirely sure.
I think top of the mid card seems right. I think he's the first person that I think we have an argument to top Takeshita at the mid card.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, you know what? Agreed.
Oh shit. Moving them up, and so many people here. There we go. There we go. Like I said, once again, this mid card would be a great brand.
It would be. World champion.
You got potential world champions in Takeshita, Andrade, Malachi, even someone maybe like a Miro, Powerhouse Hobbs. You got baby faces like Mark Briscoe, Penta. You got Jericho as the elder statesman. Got the tag team division with the Young Bucks, House of Black, Guns, FTR. Damn.
It's a really solid roster.
And here's the final stretch, Jimmy. We can go through these quick. And Helico.
Sorry, Charlie.
Sure. Cool Hand Ange mid, along with Daddy.
If you would like, feel free.
You want contract not renewed?
He would not be renewed. No. Oh wait, he's doing a thing with Ruby. He could be mid. That's fair enough.
So begrudgingly. All right. You can put him next to Daddy. Put him next to his daddy. Daddy Magic. No, Darius, you cannot be next to Daddy. Anna J.
Mid. Sorry, Charlie. If I was being mean about you not improving as fast as Sky Blue and or Julia Hart, I'm not gonna do it.
She's gotten better in her recent performances. I will say.
Fair enough.
Anthony Bowens, mid card.
Yeah, whoever the fuck the other one is.
Catster. That sounded so wrong. They're black, sir.
I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, sir.
Whoever the fuck that rapper is.
That other light-skinned Negro. And then we got who are you? Oh, Anthony Ogogo.
Oh, you're gone.
AR Fox.
You might as well be gone, poor bastard.
I know. I think Anthony Ogogo is nigga's always gone. He is always gone.
Is he still in the roster?
Yeah, he is.
Okay, and unfortunately for you, how you involved in maybe the fucking angle of the year, and you're still mid somehow. Because you tell somebody about your fucking visa. Are you fucking serious? That's the punishment for
Yep.
I love that.
Right?
I thought you were selling it on MJF and Wembley and fucking Adam Cole. Apparently you were selling it on fucking AR Fox. Who would have thought? Sorry, I ruined the show.
No, I just said yep. That's what happened.
Goddamn shame. Yeah, mid. Sorry. How you show up to get squashed. I don't know what to tell you.
Show up to get beat down.
You learn your lesson, boy.
And here it is, the 2023 AEW roster tier list. The top of the top, the top tier. Only 2 individuals made it. Keep at all costs. MJF, the AEW World Champion, and TNT Champion Christian Cage. Future Hall of Famers, we got the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. We got Swerve Strickland, John Moxley, and Samoa Joe. Any adjustments to this ranking or anyone get bumped up?
I really want to put Swerve up. I just do. But I can't.
I'm with you if you want to. I'm totally with you.
That means you're gonna move Dragon up too, or you just move Swerve up?
I mean, I think Dragon deserves to be up there too, but I mean, we can.
All right, so Dragon and Swerve go up. By like the very definition of it, it looks weird now. So I'm not mad at moving Omega, Hangman, and Jay White.
That seems right. Yeah, and like it gives Orange the honor of being top of the main event for his year. That makes sense.
I like it.
That makes sense. So we got future Hall of Fame. Do we want to make the ranking different now, though? Moxley, Joe, Omega, Hangman, and White.
Well, I'm White at Hangman, but Hangman's got the Swerve thing, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Well, I like that. That was good. Jay White's fucking fantastic.
I feel Omega should be top of future Hall of Fame.
Of course you do. How did he have a better year than John Moxley? Stop it.
All right. And top keep at all costs is good too, or should Swerve be ahead of Bryan?
No, Bryan's having a fantastic fucking year on fucking one eye. I'm trying not to have any like recency bias, because recency bias, I'd put Christian ahead of MJF. But MJF is fucking, like, his year's been insane. He's had an insane year. Iron Man match, 4-way. He's a star of the fucking company. He gets 30 minutes a night. Yeah. Even to Britt Baker's fucking agitation. It's MJF.
All right. So main event, we got Orange Cassidy, Eddie Kingston, Timeless Tony Storm, Julia Hart, Athena, Brody King, Darby Allin, Sting, Ricky Starks, Claudio Castagnoli, and Adam Cole.
That looks right.
I agree. That looks all correct. So our top 3 tiers are correct. Now we got the bigger tiers. Mid card here. The NXT brand that Triple H wish he has. You got Andrade El Idolo. You got Konosuke Takeshita, Chris Statlander, Roderick Strong, Penta El Zero Mero, Roosh, Powerhouse Hobbs, Juice Robinson, Mark Briscoe, Stokely Hathaway, Nick Jackson, Killswitch, Brian Cage, Big Bill, Miro, FTR, Jamie Hayter, Hikaru Shida, Saraya, The Guns, the rest of House of Black, Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews, Hook, Willow Nightingale, Wheeler Yuta, Matt Jackson, Chris Jericho, Jade Cargill, The Acclaimed, Nick Wayne, Sky Blue, Ruby Soho, Wardlow, Jack Perry, and Sammy Guevara.
I like the list. They all feel like they're in the right section, if not the right order.
Yeah, I feel like this felt like the strongest section as far as like where we ranked everybody.
Yeah, like you all go here.
You all fit here. Then we got mid, Double J, Jeff Jarrett, Dalton Castle, Kyle Fletcher, Jay Lethal, The Kingdom, Daniel Garcia, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, Keith Lee, Emi Sakura, All Ego Ethan Page, Daddy Ass, Billy Gunn, Commander, Bandito, Marina Shafir, Nyla Rose, Anna J, Trent Beretta, Darius Martin, Cool Hand Ange, and Daddy Magic, Lance Archer, AR Fox, Matt Sydal, Lee Moriarty, Ortiz, Layla Hirsch, Kira Hogan, Diamante, Mercedes Martinez, Taya Valkyrie, Action Andretti, Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, Smart Mark Sterling, Luther, Princeton Vance, that's John Silver, and Tony Nese.
Gun to our head, we could probably cut off at Keith Lee and then make a lower one. But it's like, to me, there's a pretty big gap between like Keith Lee and the rest of the field. But that's fine. Like that's a solid list.
Keith Lee is just here. They start booking. He's the main one. That's like, this is strictly because of booking, because you do not belong with the rest of these people. Like, sir, you do not belong here. Niggas always hurt or gone. Thunder Rosa, Ray Phoenix, Kyle O'Reilly, Mark Quinn, Dante Martin, Pac, Serena Deeb, Riho, Red Velvet, Santana, Sean Spears, Scorpio Sky, Abaddon, Yuka Sakazaki, Danhausen, Stu Grayson, Ty Mello, The Butcher and the Blade, and Anthony Ogogo.
What was I gonna say? Did I read that Serena Deeb was out with fucking Caesars or something?
Yeah.
Jesus, good luck to her. Those could be fucking scary as fucking balls.
I've seen it before, yeah.
I'm out get Caesars. It's not a pleasant thing. But yeah, I hope she's back eventually.
Facts. Any changes to niggas always gone?
No, the niggas always gone.
And then finally, we got contract not renewed. Colt Cabana, Brock Anderson, Christopher Daniels, Dustin Rhodes, Chucky T, Brandon Cutler, Evil Uno, Griff Garrison, Harley Cameron, Isaiah Cassidy, Josh Woods, Johnny TV, Layla Gray, Jake Hager, Kip Sabian, Angelico, Lee Johnson, Madison Rain, Mark Davis, Nick Camarado, Penelope Ford, Michael Nakazawa, Paige Van Zandt, Brock. I was going to call him Brock Lesnar. Parker Brudo, Rebel, QT Marshall, Sanjay Dutt, Satam Singh, Alex Reynolds, Ariel Davari, Paul White. Who are you? Aaron Solo, Serpentico, Zach Clayton, The Bunny, and Sean Dean.
Oh, I gotta be honest. I probably want to keep Solo. Just I feel bad. Like you fumbled Bailey and a job. Rough out here in the streets. Might keep me down.
I kind of feel like Lee Johnson and Johnny TV, I would put in mid.
Wow.
At least can't let them keep their jobs.
Oh, I would keep Lee Johnson just to keep Julia Hart happy. I don't want my star upset with me.
There you go.
And who Joseph said?
Johnny TV.
Sure, whatever.
Because you got Taya. You got to keep Taya happy too.
I don't care if she's happy or not. Lucky you're not with them.
Got to put Action Andretti with his light-skinned brother, Darius Martin. Got to keep these teams together. I'll put AR Fox with the light skins. Yeah.
No way. Poor bastard.
Poor bastard and light skins.
Yeah,
I think this seems all correct. All good.
I mean, yeah, like everything else I would change is outside of my hands. Like I'd keep Paige Van Zandt, but she has other shit she wants to do apparently. And who else?
I'd keep Paige Van Zandt.
Yeah, but she want to be here.
I'd keep Rebel too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I try to find some of that magic again, but oh
well. We shall see, but I think we did a great job with our first ever tier list on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel. If you have made it to the end of this video, thank you. I appreciate you. Appreciate y'all support for watching this whole thing. And I'm sure it was entertaining watching me and Jimmy argue and then finally get to an understanding of this is
an understanding. I just caved. I caved in on fucking everybody. Dragon, Moxley.
You did not!
Dragon, Moxley. Hangman. Who else? I think that's it.
This is our tier list.
Our tier list. It is. I came around. This is the right list.
Nah, I think we did. I think the best job we did was the top 4 sections. Like I feel like the mid card and up. I think we nailed everybody. Everybody's 2023.
I think we nailed everything. You just feel bad about the rest of them. It's fine.
Yeah, I do feel bad for everybody below mid card. You lose the word card, and immediately I feel bad for you. Jimmy, thank you so much for joining me on this journey. And of course, when this video drops, we will also be dropping the picture of this entire tier list so y'all can break it down and debate on what we got wrong, what we got right.
And you just don't like Matt Jackson. Shut up. Stinks.
But Jimmy, let the people know where they can follow you on social media. What you got going on, sir?
At Twitter, where you can feel free to complain. I will feel free to not listen because you're not right. Sorry. Tears are right. You can argue about them if you'd like, but you are wrong. Yeah, at Jimmy Macram. That's what it is.
Follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, all that good stuff to anyone watching this during the holiday season.
Right.
When we plan on dropping this. So happy holidays, happy new year to everyone watching.
All you Christians, enjoy that Christmas. That's actually a pagan holiday. Enjoy it. Celebrating Roman gay sex. Enjoy it.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
Jesus loves you. You know, you can't be born in fucking December. I mean, it's not how that works. It's probably sometime in the summer. It's not important. It's not important. We're not talking about that. Holidays, Christmas, Santa Claus, and shit. Right?
Right. Basically, Jimmy just always is telling you,
You don't know shit!
I might do a t-shirt. I might do that.
Follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueSP3. Check out all the great content we got on the channel right now. For Jimmy Macram, it is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. This has been our AEW roster 2023 tier list. We are signing off until next time.